Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a special edition of 13 Cards Subject to Change. On today's episode, we'll be going into a deep world. Jesse, today is day of your life. It's a day of heartbreak. It's a day of love, and it's a day of your ass is going to have a very long show because this was a rough week for you in wrestling.
Yes, it was.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I was wondering where you're going with that one.
Ladies and gentlemen, today will be the best soap opera you never wanted to see, but hey. So I don't even know where to start, ladies and gentlemen.
goodness.
I'm actually going to give this to Jesse. Jesse,
should we
where
start
would
with
you like to start?
Should we start with the shit and
Oh
end with
my-
the best?
I don't even know what's shit and what's not because there's so much to go through.
Let's just go ahead. Let's start with Cody leaving AEW.
All right.
All right,
so,
all right,
so,
go.
So
Yes.
we're going to start there.
with
For
it.
those of you that don't know, it has been rumored, confirmed by everybody, including Amanda Hubbard,
Yeah.
who was the one who said, why would I talk about this if it was a work?
Right.
Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes have both been removed from AEW as active competitors and also as any
EVPs
as executives,
and Brandy
yes.
as a chief brand officer. Yeah.
Yes, so basically it's gone back and forth across the internet. Jesse, this is basically vindication for you and,
In a sense.
and many other things. It's interesting because I have written on mine to look up an article because this is, I think, where we need to start.
Okay.
ladies and
Okay, yeah,
gentlemen. This is an article that a lot of people did not bring up. This is Kenny Omega breaking his silence on it. Basically, Kenny Omega. Everyone was shocked. Wrestling is, we all know, when our deals are up, especially the EVPs, like we know when our deals are up. Especially in the case of the Bucks, they know when their options kick in. For myself, I don't have a deal like that. I'm up next year, just straight up done. I'd have to re-sign a new one. There is no option. The Bucks have an option,
Right.
as we reported earlier.
Right.
We knew Cody, much like the Bucks, there was that time. And when we would hear that there's possibly some difficulty with the renegotiation or whatever, it was almost like you never think it's going to go in that direction where the talent is just going to opt for leaving, especially when they help start the thing. I would say the most passionate person about our revolution, the most passionate person about creating an us versus them mentality was Cody. So it was strange for him to choose and just up and walk away. Now, before we go on with what Kenny has to say, if you want me to keep going with
Actually,
Kenny.
go ahead. Finish Kenny's
ahead.
thoughts.
Okay.
This is the first insightful thing he said in like 4 years. so
However,
yes.
quote, however, that being said, feelings change. The environment around you is ever changing. It's constantly changing. Kenny didn't need to say that 3 times. I think we got it. Maybe the mission statement or the goal of... or the goal or the revolution or Jesus Christ, hold on a sec. Maybe the mission statement or the goal or the revolution.
Maybe if you read it with a lot of breath, you'll be able to
no.
do it
That might
better.
help.
No,
Yeah.
Jesse, because this will be okay. So this is my 3rd attempt at this sentence. This is quote what it was. Maybe the mission statement or the goal or the revolution or whatever you were searching for and trying to create, comma, maybe that isn't what it is anymore to you. Kenny, that was a long-winded statement to get somewhere. Maybe that isn't your inspiration or whatever gets you out of bed every day. So Kenny would go on. There's a lot more here. I've got this from Inside the Ropes, so this is legit.
Right.
Kenny, Jesse, I'm sorry, but I think this kind of confirms that even though there were a lot of people denying it, I think the EVP stopped talking a long time ago.
I think 3 of them stopped talking to the other one.
Yes.
Here's the thing.
Because here's the deal. I don't think anyone considered Brandy an EVP. Brandy was just there because she was Cody's wife.
That's about it,
And to be
yeah.
fair to her, she is the one that finally got them to finally open shop AEW.com because she understood coming up through the WWE system, why are we... Not that Pro Wrestling Tees isn't a great site.
Right, yeah,
There's
yeah.
no reason not to use them as a third party if
Right,
we
yeah.
want
right,
to.
yeah.
But if we can just sell it ourselves as well, let's just sell it ourselves as well.
Well, but that's just basic business in
Yeah.
general. So, I mean, if she suggests that, again, nothing against her, but I think that kind of just proves to you, Brandy, you're stating the obvious. Like,
Right.
but I mean, back to my point, Jesse, there was clearly some issue in the camp with these guys, and basically, Jesse, we've been seeing much more recent, but it started way back when Cody started working with Anthony Wake Me Up Before You Would Go.
I'm gonna be completely honest. This came as a shock to me.
Oh, I think it was all a shock of how it ended. Yeah.
So here's the thing.
Definitely.
Because I'm not gonna lie, even with all the shit that's been going on with them, I just assumed, like, at some point he'll just resign.
Because he was on a handshake deal for about a month.
Right.
Wasn't he? Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing: without him, there is no AEW. See, people seem to forget that he was the one who originally said, "I think if we can get, parts of New Japan, parts of Ring of Honor, we can damn near sell out Madison Square Garden." And
he was also a very large part of All In.
Right. And if not for All In, guess what? The other three don't meet Tony Khan.
True.
So it's one of those, like I said, it's one of those things where without him, the company doesn't probably even exist.
Do you find it odd that the person that ended up getting at odds with and we'll get to this a little later, Leroy, I'm surprised it wasn't on here, but we're going to have to, we have to delve into the Wrestling Observer Newsletter Awards of the Year, because holy crap is that list a bunch of shit. But we'll get to that a little later.
Well, I really didn't think that was good news and good for us to talk about because we don't agree with
AEW is
them.
never good news, and yet they're on the show every week. But anyway. But no, Jesse.
I like wrestling. I just don't like Dave.
No, I'm about to say Dave Meltzer isn't good. Go ahead.
Is it odd to you that of all the people that he went south with, it was the guy who actually put his own money into the company, regardless of how much he has versus what Tony has? Because, folks, we talked about it numerous times. Kenny doesn't have that much, and the Bucks are not stupid enough to spend their own money because they don't. They've been leeching off of people for years at this point, and the Bucks, I'm pretty sure the Bucks found a way to get their travel expenses to New Japan covered by somebody.
Now, as I've always said, while I personally don't mind snakes, most of them are not predatory in nature.
Yeah.
They are predatory, but not in nature.
Yes.
But you can put a snake in a dress. It's still a snake. In this case,
That's
two
true.
of them from Rancho Cucamonga.
Yes.
But here's the thing. The Cody one shocked me because I'm like, this guy literally created this company.
Yes.
No matter how delusional he may have become.
Yes.
That was to help probably his wife and the baby. I don't know.
And I don't know, maybe the baby is the thing that got him to start looking at things differently.
You mean Cody's on his way to save us from Brock Lesnar, the biggest racist in all of wrestling? That's a joke from the internet.
I know.
Oh, my God.
Which he's not, by the way.
No, God, no.
But yeah, no.
His interview with Pat McAfee was
It's insanely insightful.
Well, what's funny to me is
that's when he broke the table.
I actually don't think
That was hilarious.
I actually don't think it was that insightful, but here's why. Nothing shocked me of what Brock said. Not a thing Brock said shocked me.
I think it was insightful to the wrestling world because it's almost like Mark Calloway. It's not a guy you were used to hearing speak often about pro wrestling and his future and all of that stuff.
But anyway, so
with Cody, here's the three major things I got from him leaving. One, maybe somebody quote unquote Cody looked in the mirror and went, if I'm going to just work for Vince McMahon, then I should just go work for Vince McMahon. Here's what I mean by that.
Because they all eventually go back to Vince.
Because here's what I mean by that. Remember, they all used to share different power.
Yes.
And then Tony said, fuck that. I'll take all that.
But
I'm the major investor now.
but as we've been
because
able
remember, it wasn't until it didn't start until like a year and a half ago where he started calling himself the head of creative.
Yes.
And the head EVP.
Well, but we also have to realize, Jesse, and we saw it in the booking. If there's somebody who lost footing on what was going on TV, it was clearly Cody. But the Bucks still had their input. Kenny had his. We all know that. I think the other issue is when you bring in a Punk and you bring in a Danielson, they're going to do what they want, and no one's really going to tell them otherwise.
Right.
There's absolutely no way that and you know, for those of you who are like, you don't want to mention Cole just went to play with his buddies, okay? And I'm sorry, but like I said, there's a lot of heartbreak for Jesse today that we have to talk about. But the King has also showed up. But the King did something last night that Jesse has to deal with. We'll deal with that in a little bit here. On to your second point, though.
I just previews that. I haven't watched the whole
We'll get to it.
show, but I'll do that soon.
I've seen it coming, but he broke my heart.
Yeah. Your second point.
Point number 2, and I think this is the biggest point for the Cody leaving.
Yeah.
This may not be a positive sign for the next 2 years.
Of AEW?
For
or?
AEW.
Okay, yeah.
Because for that guy to go, all right, I'm going to try other things.
Do they lose the Nightmare Factory then? Do you
No,
think?
No. So he's already said.
No, I'm talking
that-
about AEW. Do you think they lose the talent?
Because he's already said that the Nightmare Factory is a school. He runs the school.
Right, okay,
he owns the school.
Doesn't his brother?
Him and his brother own the school. And in their father's legacy, they're going to let all the companies pick from the school. So
Okay, yeah.
They have no problem with that.
Yeah, okay.
I think one of the biggest things, and this goes into point two, and you can kind of include the Nightmare Factory into this, is the fact that he decided, this thing I've poured my heart and soul into for basically the last 5 years.
Easily,
because even after he left, I mean, he was one of the first ones.
Well, they were working on this before All In.
Well, here was the thing. He was one of the first wrestlers after a post WWE release that go, this is my dreams to achieve in pro wrestling.
Yes.
And he pretty much achieved all of them.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the last one people didn't think he would ever achieve, and that was, I want to start a company to rival the one I left. He did it.
What I think is unique.
So to give Cody a lot of credit, and maybe the confidence is what gives him delusion when you watch a Road to the Top.
Yeah.
But he succeeded.
I've never said that Cody didn't check that whole list off.
Right.
I think my biggest issue, and now you may not have to watch season 2 because they might just shelve it.
So
be a lucky guy
I'm about
if
to
you
say,
do.
TNT is already clear. Apparently, they have clearly canceled the show. But
Yeah.
I think what it sounds like, the rumor is that Cody probably saw that coming when he left. I think he's going to try to get it brought to Peacock. So
Okay, all right, yeah. You're still watching.
I'm still forced to watch it.
Yes. but
God, the bad part is I'm able to watch it too.
do you have a third point to this?
And the third point is I worry for all that young talent over in AEW.
Yeah.
Because if there was one guy...
If there's one part about this, like, not to interrupt you, but the one thing I saw from season 1 that maybe caused us to look at his actual work and be like, oh, dear Christ to hell.
Right.
But most of the backstage footage, he's talking to 90% of that locker room
Right.
about their stuff, about
Right.
this, about that. Whether Cody was the right guy to do that or not, I'm not here to argue or judge. But a lot of that talent was going to him.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not they had that same relationship with the Bucks and Kenny, we don't know.
Maybe Kenny. Listen, man. I do get tired of dumping on the Bucks, but it's just I don't see them as wanting to help an
Relatable?
up-and-coming generation of wrestlers.
No, because we've seen what they've done to the Rancho Cucamonga scene, where
Well-
there were actually good wrestlers that came out of it, and
Look at them now.
oh my god,
So so to me that third point is we're gonna see because right about now,
yeah,
the joke of, man, this is starting to look like WCW in the late 90s, 2000. Well, we'll see, because it's all Tony's game now.
yes,
There is no middle person who kind of speaks up for the younger talent.
Yeah, no.
There's no longer the middle person who probably went to Tony like, maybe we shouldn't do that.
Yep.
It seems like a bad idea to do that. That guy's gone.
and okay, so it's interesting not to necessarily like we're gonna stay on Cody because I think this is a large part. Jesse, he leaves. I believe that news came out Monday or Tuesday.
That was Tuesday, I believe.
Tuesday
it was,
night.
Yeah.
Tuesday night. Okay.
Yeah.
The very next night, you think about this. Last week, 1.1 million. You had Keith Lee debut. You had a very good MJF segment overall. You had Punk sort of get a lot of his heat back. You had all this momentum, and then the Cody thing happens. Their lowest number since they've moved to TBS, and it's their average from when they were in TNT,
Yeah.
869.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, Raw beat the week previous. They were the most watched thing on Sci-Fi might be like, can we just get the show back?
They're not getting it back.
They might want it for more things.
Right.
Or maybe they want NXT.
Because remember, a part of the
Yeah,
reason
yeah.
why WWE is even working with Peacock is because USA is a part of the NBC family. So
Right.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is that, Jesse, WWE moves to Sci-Fi, a channel that, let's be honest, no one watches.
not really.
The shows.
Because you can literally find all the shows on Peacock.
Well, not only that, but Jesse, I watched I watched the commercials. Most of those shows, first of all, they all look like they're filmed in.
They look terrible.
They look like they're filmed in the same British Columbian high school gym. I mean, it's just
they look pretty terrible.
They look like it's just a cheap sci-fi budget movie, which is what they are.
Right.
But Jesse, that can't be a good. Now I know that Tony will never speak when his ratings suck.
No.
But
of course not.
What I find funny is this is the rating you get. You're lowest on TBS. Nothing is said. But if WWE hit that number, it'd be doomsday.
Well, they can't. Well, Raw, like I said, when Raw dips to 1.2, people lose their shit.
Right.
So
it's
I think, like I said, I don't know if it's a correlation to that because. Really,
I'm not saying it's a correlation. I'm just saying that Jesse,
because I think overall, besides the Bryan Danielson stuff, the rest was just kind of like man.
Well, but my point to you is that so now that you've seen that, I'm not talking about if it's a correlation, but you talk about it being bad, Jesse. If that happens when you create all this buzz and you're the only thing talked about for 20, Jesse, we're gonna talk about this in a little bit. They overshadowed a possible return at WrestleMania that no one on God's green earth thought they were gonna see. We're gonna we'll tease that for a little later. We're not gonna talk about it right now. But Jesse, when you overshadow that news and you technically got nothing from it, Jesse, they lost almost 400,000 people.
No.
Now, which is weird because the week prior to the week before, 3 weeks ago now, that was one of the worst shows we've ever seen.
That's true.
Them put on. The next week they somehow righted the ship, but Jesse. This is what I don't get about their fan base. You people want to sit there and tell me that, well, they can't feature everybody. Yeah, but when you have a good week, don't you just expand on it with, I don't know, the same effing shit? If you find a formula that gets you over 1 million, why do you take the next week off essentially and you give me a bunch of people that, I'm sorry, Jesse, love the indies or not, nobody wants to see half this roster. And you know what? That's interesting, but I think that's where the real, and you touched on this earlier, that's where the real questions of Cody leaving will come. Who, because okay, I'm no longer going to listen to conspiracy theorists. There was never a break in that. No, there was a disconnect in the EVPs.
That was clearly a disconnect
Totally.
within those guys.
So once again, the EVPs weren't talking. Trump caused January 6th. We're not no more conspiracy theories.
I mean, like I said,
we're only dealing in
the
facts.
biggest disconnect
That's
apparently
true.
it was also just Tony and Cody. Like it clearly was.
But now that's my question. Who? Because okay, watch. Sadly, we have to watch over the next couple of months.
By the way, I'm going to need you to say your verisimilitude to him because what he decided to do after Dynamite this week apparently was go out there and thank the fans, which is fine. That part's fine. I guess I'm kind of over that. That's something he does for the fans, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
70-year-old ass Vince should not be going out there.
No.
Like, we were glad to see him come out after the pandemic. Everyone was happy to see him. That's cool. Go away.
Well,
love you, Vince. Go away.
Well, his snark comment, "Where have you been?" and then he leaves. That's
we love Vince. We all know we love Vince.
Yes,
it is what it is.
Yes.
But then he goes, "Man, it's been a long week."
Really?
You can you do the
Tony? As I told him when he should have not come out. She's like, Tony, what? Shut the fuck up. Go back.
Here's the thing, and why I'm having you do that. Because you want sympathy. You caused this.
Yeah.
You could have worked things out with that guy. He helped you start this company. Without him, it doesn't even exist.
But, Jesse, that goes to my point, and I'm finally going to get this out. Here's my point, folks. And by the way, I'm not saying that to you because you've been interrupting. I've been trying to get this out for basically the life of this show. Who is in the Bucks camp? Who is on their side of the fence versus who was on the Cody side of the fence? Because you want to sit there, and by the way, there's a woman. She's married to Cedric Alexander. She's looking really right now. She
also did try to dry snitch on Tony though.
Yeah, well, he's on something. We already knew that. It's Florida. No one cares.
He smoked my weed. I'm like, you black, you know better. You ain't got to dry snitch.
Right.
You were already right about everything else. You didn't have to dry snitch, but go ahead.
But it's just, we're going to see over the coming weeks, both in, and shut up, Tony, they're called releases, okay?
Yes.
We're going to see in releases, and we're going to see in TV time, and even on Dark, who was on Cody's end of the argument from day one.
See,
because I think what people have to realize is that Cody, he'll take the high road.
Right.
The Bucks have never taken the high road throughout their entire career. You confirmed a couple of weeks ago when you did the clown list.
Yeah.
They've been trading on the BS that no one wanted to book them now for arguably the last 6 years of their career.
Right.
Well, they got nothing
It's not
else.
that Jim Cornette never wanted to book you. It's that he didn't see you as needing to close a show in ROH.
Here was the thing. He wanted to build them in the way that him and Paul Heyman have built stars for years. And to be fair to Jim, very successfully.
Yes.
So like, you didn't want to just listen to the man, like because I think at the time when they were there, I think Vince Jackass was also there, Vince Russo.
Yeah.
But like, there's nothing wrong with listening to the man.
No.
Even if I get hired somewhere and I can kind of tell I might not like my boss, well, if he's been successful at helping people succeed, I'm going to listen to the person.
Yeah.
Just hear them out, because maybe they have something there in their brains that'll help you succeed.
And I hate to say it, but every time Jim reviews one of their matches and explains what they could have done, I'm like, boys, that would have made you more money. You should have never beaten. And by the way, they're now finally saying it on his show. They basically Hoganized FTR.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody wanted to admit that, or nobody thought about it for the longest time.
Right.
Is that, so let me get this straight. You're these wrestling savants. You're these geniuses. You got yourselves over.
Right.
You don't realize you're a face. They come in heel.
Right.
All day you dropped the first match to them.
Right.
Under what successful booker have they ever said, no, you're just going to get all the heat in one match and we're never going to do this again?
Yeah, it never made sense, man. It's never made sense. But like you said, and like I said right before that match, I'm like, the Bucks are going to win because they literally brought them in to win.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And
that's as far as the thoughts go.
But my thing is that you feel bad for people who basically don't have anywhere else to go. And sadly, Jesse, I think it's because they hitched their wagon to this so hard.
Yeah.
There's so many people, and arguably your boy Scorpio is one of them, who said, I've enjoyed my time. And it's like, bro, this is why when you do shows...
Scorpio Sky isn't a pro wrestler. He's a podcaster. No, he's us. Don't worry.
Fair enough.
That's where I'm at with him. He's a podcaster.
There we go.
That's all he is.
But... And by the way, I hate to say this, we all miss you. Josh, please get your visa figured out.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. But don't you dare do that to yourself and go to AEW.
No, Josh.
I would rather you go suffer and be an upper mid carder for 2 years in WWE so people can get to know you more.
Yeah.
Than you going there, because
he posted.
I fear what's going to happen.
He posted on his social media. He's doing construction right now. Right. Arguably the best bout machine, the real best bout machine in all of pro wrestling. He's a construction worker.
He's a Canadian, so the visa thing to me is strange. For Canadian, it's probably because of other outside things going on right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, listen. I first of all, I feel bad for that young talent right now in AEW, because unless you can find a way to build yourself, they're not going to build you.
People have to understand.
They're not. No.
The Booker of the Year for the Wrestling Observer didn't put together 3 weeks worth of consistent television in an entire year span.
Listen, man.
He had 50 plus shows
they gave Kenny Omega Wrestler of the Year again.
Yeah.
And
for the third,
Roman got a lot of second place.
Roman got Gimmick of the Year.
But he
bring those up, Leroy. We're going to transition into that in a second. Bring them up.
I'll see if I can find it.
Bring
Yes.
them up.
Roman's been the best thing on American television. I for 2 years now. He's had some of the best matches on American television for 2 years.
There was
now.
The Wrestling Observer.
Wrestling Observer. Okay.
Year-end awards.
It's not just a gimmick, because Kenny is also a gimmick.
Yeah.
His real name's not Omega.
I also love how totally fair voting. Worst gimmick of the year, or like worst thing of the year, was WWE firing talent with record profits, and I'm like, Tony's got more money. He said it himself.
Right.
But we'll get into that in a second because right now we're not here to yell at the man that once was wrestling lore.
I don't have a voice to yell.
Yeah,
at Dave
yeah,
Meltzer.
no, that's fair.
I'm thinking I might have to get. We'll have to dust off and drag out the soapbox again in a month or so.
But Jesse,
It's going to be a while before I do that.
I don't know how
so.
WWE gets worst thing of the year. Like I love CMLL. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Historic company.
Oldest wrestling company in North America.
Right. They've had some of the shittiest shows this year.
They've had bad shows.
Now there's been some great highlights.
Yes.
But their stories this year have been fucking terrible.
Well, but remember, Jesse, people want to sit there.
By the way, we made it 25 minutes before my first swear word.
Very nice. Very nice.
I beat you on that one.
Yeah, you did.
I know.
But Jesse,
I do have it up whenever we get it. Whenever you're ready. So.
But Jesse, perfect example of just because you watch it consistently and you're hating on it doesn't mean somebody else was doing better.
Right.
You yourself said it. The company of the year Stardom. They even had moments where you were like, "What are we doing?"
No. Push Stardom to the side. New Japan.
Overall,
And I love New Japan.
you are New Japan all day.
It's been a rough year.
Yeah, yes, it has. And hold that note because I've got a fun thing for you later in the show. But no, okay. So now we move on to the big question.
Yeah.
Does he go back to the World Wrestling Entertainment?
I think so.
Where else would he go at this
Here's
point?
the thing. So one of the things that Cody leaving. Go ahead.
Oh, and by the way, folks, if you think he's going to come in and just immediately be a jobber, Vince McMahon's not stupid. He knows the hype you
guys. Let me put it into sports presentation for the idiots out there who kept putting that stuff out there.
Yeah.
If you pay a guy, let's just throw out Kirk Cousins 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
When you pay a guy $36 million guaranteed, guess what? That guy's your fucking starting quarterback.
Yeah.
In basketball, you pay a center at least $27 million guaranteed for the next 4 years. Guess what? That guy's gonna fucking start.
Yes.
If Vince brings him in at the alleged $3.5 million, that guy's gonna be in the main fucking event.
Yes.
End of discussion.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
No, don't get that
because
twisted.
he's gonna make more than So the rumor is when he goes to WWE, if he goes to WWE, he's actually gonna make more than what Kevin Owens just got, which means he's gonna be a main eventer.
Well, not to mention the fact that and that's not a shot at Kevin.
No.
You get signed.
Hey, Kevin's a main eventer.
Yes, exactly. But my point is that folks.
By the way, because people will go no one feels like a star besides Roman and Brock. No, you don't feel like they're stars.
Exactly.
They have clearly built a main event scene on Raw. Now, we'll get to the pay-per-view and all that.
Yeah.
Because that, by the way, calling it a premium live event, Vince and Funky Love kiss my ass. It's a pay-per-view. You might not pay per-view anymore, but I still pay fucking Peacock.
That's fair.
$10 a month.
That's
but
fair.
Continue.
But
yeah.
So but see now I think Cody comes back.
Right.
He's a little more of a made man. Whether or not we liked it, he kind of did what his dad did before Vince got him.
True.
I think Cody is bigger than when he left. But
way bigger.
He is. Oh, God,
but
yes.
I think that Cody also needs to have a, quote, coming to Jesus moment and realize that I tried to take on the Leviathan, and I came up short.
Here's the thing. The one thing you are right about, and you have been right about, is unfortunately what he did do, he beat Triple H. Now, maybe personally for him that worked out because people forget one of the reasons why he left was because some of the words Triple H once said to him.
Yeah.
And he's gone and proved Paul insanely wrong.
Yes.
And as we all know, Paul's power has kind of been mostly emasculated in WWE.
Unfortunately.
For now. Like I tell people, that's a for now situation.
You say,
that won't last.
Here's the deal. A lot of people say emasculated. I say the man had a heart attack.
Well, this was even before the heart attack, though. They were talking about changing all the NXT stuff.
Well, but here's the deal. I think, and no one's going to change my mind on this, if they were winning the ratings war consistently,
well, nothing changes.
Nothing changes.
Right. But that's what I mean. Cody won. And he beat the guy who kind of ran him out the company.
Right.
So here's the thing.
But was it hype or was it actually good, consistent shows?
As far as AEW, I mean, it was clearly hype.
Yeah.
way more hype than good
because
show.
NXT 1.0 is still the much better show.
Yeah.
But yeah.
However, I'll say this much, Leroy. I've watched it. I don't know if Jesse watched it. Vengeance Day was good.
Vengeance Day was excellent.
We'll get to that in a little bit. But
yeah,
I love my week of wrestling.
There's so much more to talk about and unravel here, but I think we need to wait until we figure out what's going to happen. In my opinion, if I was booking it, sign him, keep it on the down low, keep him off Twitter. Wait till after WrestleMania. It's only 2 more months.
I got a feeling though.
Build the suspense.
He could show up tomorrow on Raw.
No, I would be very mad.
He very much could.
Okay, as I stated last night at the pay-per-view, and then today, and when the show goes, today as a recording, 41 days to WrestleMania.
Right.
40 days when we put this recording out. There's time. We don't need him. We don't need him on anything.
I will say this, though.
We don't need him at WrestleMania.
To give Jesse credit, if they do it, you're stealing some numbers from some people down there in Jacksonville.
Here's the two things Vince would do if he gets him ready for a match, hell, maybe against the Kevin Owens for WrestleMania, right?
Yeah.
The first thing you do is now you put a guy who got a new company on a larger scale, on a much larger scale. That's number one. And two, you go, hey, you know that guy who decided not to be a main event champion in his own company? Yeah, we're going to fucking make him one at some point soon. I'm just like I told people, don't think, especially at $3.54 million, probably bringing over 2 shows to Peacock and all the other shit that Cody can do now because he's gained that clout and power. Do not think that, like I told people online and they said I'm crazy, do not think he cannot beat Roman Reigns this year. I'm just throwing it out there.
I can see it, yeah.
Right,
yes.
Right now, he has arguably the most momentum in all of wrestling. The problem is Jesse, he's taking it away from our friends in Jacksonville, which we are now going to go to because, guys, what are you doing? What is this?
They don't know what they're
What
doing.
happened?
So the two parts of Dynamite that I absolutely loved. The first being this thing with Bryan Danielson
and
Mox, Lee Moriarty, and the couple of talents that Brian brought up.
Yeah,
this faction sounds wonderful.
It does.
I actually hope they get to it because it sounds wonderful.
You also on the show said, "Holy shit! You get Daniel Garcia away from Tony Khan."
There you go.
The boy is amazing.
You let him work with just John and Brian. Holy shit. I like 2.0, but let them just be in the tag division.
And to be fair, again,
lower mid card maybe sneaks a couple tag titles. That's where they, which by the way, what they were gonna be in WWE, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with those kind of acts. They're really fun.
Right.
They can be really fun.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is kind of the implosion of the Inner Circle. I actually have liked that because now it feels like the team that should have initially got the push, is finally getting the push they deserve, and that's formerly known as LAX.
Yep.
Santana and Ortiz.
I refuse to refer to them as Pride and Powerful. Whoever the fuck came up with that shit.
I think maybe they did, but
Boys, it's not good.
Boys, what are you doing?
So LAX is a Impact.
Oh, I agree.
Licensed name, so they can't use it.
Right? Yeah.
But I'm like, well, shit, you know. But seeing them get that push is awesome. I mean, it was basically Undisputed Era beating the fuck out of Adam Page this week.
Yeah.
For that little setup, I'm like, so you left NXT for NXT.
Well, and you know what's also
basically,
weird?
Yeah.
And you know what's also weird, and again, I'm not trying to bring back this narrative. Jesse, the Bucks look in more shape than Adam Cole. Is Adam Cole sick again?
I don't think he's sick. I think you're right. I don't think he's taking care of his body anymore. Because working with Shawn Michaels, I think, allowed him to go, okay, I can do this a certain way, keep my body in shape.
He looks like a guy who
remember,
literally just walked into the ring.
Right, because Brian once said, like, while I was vegan, I was never into yoga and all that until I went and trained with Shawn.
Yeah.
Shawn did a lot of that to kind of do his recovery with, his
alcohol. Back and everything, and alcohol, yeah.
And so I think a lot of that was actually helping Shawn, helping Adam to like really good shape.
Yeah.
And now, like you said before, I just don't think he cares because he doesn't have to care.
But am I being too critical?
That's true.
Or do other people see the difference?
No, I see it.
In
So
the
do
last
I.
6 months.
No, I see
Oh,
it.
I do too.
In the last 6 months, do we not see the difference?
Also, WWE, Paul specifically protected him because think about it. He wasn't always in matches on NXT. He was there, but he wasn't always in matches. He also, so they didn't expose him a lot, to the public eye like that.
Well, we talked about it. I think it was last week. He was kept away from his worst instincts,
Right?
Which we've learned apparently were just his friends.
In this case, yes.
Because Sean, there's no way that Sean would have even when Sean was completely effed up,
Right.
he would have never gone out looking the way that Adam Cole was.
No.
And they had to carry Sean to the ring sometimes.
Well, because here's the thing, like what Sean has always understood about WWE is Vince does give a shit of what your body looks like.
He does.
Now, I get it because it's a TV presentation. Listen, they started making all that money in the 80s like that because all those guys were super jacked. They all were doing steroids, so they all looked like superheroes.
Yeah.
And then in the late 90s, what Vince kind of did was go, you know what? I'm just gonna hide the guys who don't have the best bodies. So like your Road Dogs, because people forget Road Dogg did not have the best body.
No,
he could go.
Yeah, no.
He could go, but
Yeah.
he didn't have the best body.
No.
Big Show actually looked great for a 7 foot tall, 500 pound
I think what
giant.
people have to understand, there was only so much show. There was only so much that Big Show was going to be able to do with his physical gift.
Right.
I mean, it's very limited in a lot of ways.
Well, and here was the thing. Even like with how big he was, people forget he was really athletic in WCW.
He was.
Oh
Yeah.
God, yes, he was.
But Vince then, which is why he was, sent down to developmental twice when he first got signed, was Vince said, listen, work a big man style and you'll work a lot longer.
See, this is what bothers me, and it bothers me because everybody wants to find the good in what is clearly one of the biggest missed opportunities in all of wrestling.
Right.
Adam Cole said it in a promo to formerly Karrion Kross. Anyone who watches pro wrestling knows that I'm better than you. Well, Adam, I'm sorry, but you left what you thought was sports entertainment for sports entertainment. You're not in wrestling. This isn't what I think you think it is.
Who would have thought? And we'll see because they said they almost got the TV deal. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, Control Your Narrative, Adam Shear, EC3, they're starting their own wrestling company.
And they have a, quote, TV deal imminent.
And apparently they have a
working
large
on
TV deal imminent.
Yeah.
It was like a large, so probably maybe like, a WB, something like that.
Yeah.
So.
At least they'll be on TV.
They'll be on TV.
NWA still can't figure that out.
Not really going to go there.
Okay.
By the way, awesome pay-per-view show they had last week.
They did, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But who would have thought, and we'll maybe see it in 5 months, that Killer Cross won that narrative?
Yeah.
Killer Cross might win that because what Killer Cross told him was, you may think you're better than me, it's just because you're more athletic than me. But I can, what he was saying, per diem was, I can smash you at any time.
Right, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Right, yeah. And I think that's the thing that people, again, Jesse, they don't want to admit that their favorite guy, Adam Cole, really, a lot of what he did towards the end, it's not aging well. And it's kind of his own fault. And it's not even his fault because he chose to do stupid things, this, that. He's clearly showed up, and Adam Cole of NXT would have looked at an Orange Cassidy gimmick, much like he looked at Leon Ruff. No offense to Leon, but Leon knows where his place in wrestling is. Congratulations, he's on Terminus 2, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, but no, folks, Adam Cole...
Apparently he's been working the South a lot.
He has, yeah.
Release.
He's been down there a lot. I've been following him because the moment for me that made up for 2020 was him winning the North American title.
What a great moment that was.
It was so cool. But anyway, it's just, folks, Adam Cole, through no fault of anyone but himself, has shown up in a place, and okay, let's actually peel back the onion for a second.
Okay.
He shows up on the pay-per-view. It's a big reveal. Not going to deny it. The whole stare down was a big deal because Jesse remembers him getting kicked out.
Yes.
He was killed on BTE.
He was literally murdered.
But then, Jesse, we seem to once again want to stop the narrative.
Right.
The control your narrative is a very interesting way to segue into what happened damn near instantaneously after Adam Cole hugged his friends. Oh, that's right. A bigger star showed up.
Right.
And they didn't say, yeah, we're going to wait till our, Wednesday. No, they did it right after you, bro.
I would say probably the third biggest star in pro wrestling, to be honest. I think Bryan Danielson is that fucking popular.
Oh, easily.
Oh,
Easily.
God, yeah.
So, Jesse.
Like, he literally walked in, and it actually brought legitimacy to AEW after all these years.
Instantaneously, too. Instantaneously.
Yeah.
But it's just, Jesse, this is a guy who went from that.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're a stooge listening to Kenny, not as an equal. You're doing what Kenny tells you to do.
Right.
And then, I'm sorry, but Jesse, this is NXT Adam Cole, back to my point, would have looked at Leon Ruff and been like, Kyle, take care of this.
Right.
Roddy, please.
Right.
Jesse, he willingly took not just a match, but he took an actual story with Orange Cassidy, and nothing against Orange Cassidy at this point. I actually don't want to rip on the guy, but I'm sorry, bro. Even your gimmick is not getting over in WWE because they wouldn't spend 5 minutes on it.
Maybe not.
No.
What's funny about Orange Cat? He would have to speak more, which actually he's very good at.
Which is,
Yeah.
They seem to hide his actual strength.
it's almost
in
like
AEW.
what Brian said at Heart of a Warrior 2. Man, Paul, if he would just show a little more personality,
Right.
Yes.
he could own anything he wanted.
Right.
And by the way, Paul's already got a great personality. In
Right.
Oh,
wrestling.
God, yes.
But no, it's just NXT Adam Cole, if we believe in kayfabe for 5 minutes, is looking at this and being like, you're a shell of what I was, both literally, physically, and on the mic, because this is still the weirdest signing. It's added nothing to their ratings. That's been proven. His segments do nothing for us.
And I think one of the biggest things that his signing did, and then the re-signings of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to WWE,
And AJ Styles, I think AJ kind of gets to be thrown in there.
was that,
Yeah.
well, guess what? The guys who you think would fit there, because of the history, were like, fuck it.
And by the way,
We're not going. We're staying.
By the way, the way Sammy was going, he knew what his WrestleMania was going to look like before he re-signed.
Right.
So he clearly doesn't give a shit that he's working with Johnny Knoxville.
No. By the way, now as your new Intercontinental Champion. So yeah, and then clearly, and we'll get to it later, but clearly they had big plans for Kevin Owens.
Yeah, and by the way, folks, they were not piping in commentary. It was a taped show.
Yeah.
I ignored those comments because I'm like, either you're too stupid to realize that, or you're clearly you're clearly just hating because it's WWE.
You're looking for something,
right? You're just looking for something to be mad at because that's a stupid thing to be mad at.
Yeah,
but and then I mean, there was that banger of a match, like I said, with Lee Moriarty.
Yeah,
but otherwise, I mean, the women's stuff is okay. Now it's funny because they finally decided to drop the alien gimmick, basically.
Yeah.
So she just kind of wears the makeup and then the eye thing, but like, she's not really an alien, which is fine. Chris Statlander's an amazing pro wrestler.
Yes.
Like I said, I've seen her in person twice.
But the problem
it's been an honor to watch her.
But the problem is, in 1 week they go from we're dropping this. I'm like, okay, maybe she'll get something more serious, and it just landed like it landed like Kenny and Mox's ending to their barbed wire match. It was a
big
popcorn
old
fart.
No, I saw, popcorn farts, yeah, they're wonderful. I ask my daughter that all the time.
No, the popcorn's nice. The popcorn farts are not.
Well, yeah, I know. I listen to my daughter sit on that floor and go, "Bap, bap, bap," you know. But no, I saw, did that table spot where they both kind of felt, was that on this week or last week's AEW?
Oh, with
the two
Adam
ladies?
Cole?
No, with the ladies.
That might have been Rampage.
Yeah.
Was that
That was Rampage. That was
Yeah.
Mercedes and Thunder Rosa. Which,
That-
by the way,
What the hell were they trying to do there?
so what she was trying to do is hit a fisherman buster.
Yeah.
But the problem is, it's always the biggest problem in pro wrestling when that fucking table doesn't break.
Yep.
Okay,
hold
I was figuring what was the issue
But
with
hold on.
that. It looked
Again,
bad.
when you don't want to go to someone that's producing and ask them what they think, take the band off. How many times does it have to be said? Take the band off the table. Hardcore Holly proved why.
Right.
Yes.
And what bothered me, Jesse, what also pissed me off about this, and fuck anyone who says now I'm nitpicking, why, oh why, do two of the best in-ring women need a table spot? Why did this need to happen?
Because everybody wanted to see a table shot.
Because it tells the story of, by the way, very quickly, of how they're going to turn Mercedes Martinez babyface. Here's the thing.
Mercedes Martinez.
By the way, because other than
based
that,
on her debut, they don't deserve Mercedes Martinez.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Oh,
but
that was painful.
It was kind of crazy because it was actually a great match. That was a Rampage match, by the way.
Yes.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I expect nothing less of Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez.
Oh God, no.
Oh yes.
I expect nothing less of them if they were separate.
Which, by the way, for those who are mad at Thunder Rosa for calling out fans who decided to once again hurl racial slurs at formerly known as Ember Moon Athena.
Yeah.
These are two of the best women. You got that show for $15. They paid $15 to go to that show.
Yep.
And you're hurling shit at them? You're not wrestling fans. We don't need you in pro wrestling. Like she said, you're not welcome. How are you that disrespectful to someone who helped your Texas scene?
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Otherwise, I actually thought that was a banger match, and I think that was 2 weeks ago.
It was.
It's funny because the Rampage matches are actually a lot better. They're a lot better than Dynamite.
Rampage seems to be
but
what
Rampage
Dark
is,
was.
I'm about to say, Rampage is just like what Dark Elevation used to be. It's the better show that nobody watches.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nobody if you see the numbers on Rampage, you're like, wow, no one watches this.
And now, okay, folks, if you don't think that NXT Level Up is going to hurt Rampage even a little bit, now you're over.
We'll see.
Jesse, I know it's going to be on Peacock, but you know for a fact that WWE doesn't care what the rating is of that show, and some people are going to go watch it over Rampage.
Well, because they're literally just going to use it to develop all that NXT talent.
They're listening to you, by the way. 205 Live no longer exists.
205 Live has returned into NXT Level Up, and it's going to be on as Jim and them.
Leroy
and if people say
Leroy, they are fucking a year late.
I know.
Year late.
But you know where it's going to be? We can watch it on the cock.
I hate that I'm making
this. You can definitely watch it on the cock.
There we go.
I hate that I'm making this transition. I apologize, but we were talking about Adam Cole there for a second. Adam, if you're in need of some smaller clothing, we have a new sponsor on the show. My friend from high school, Kayla. We apologize for this transition, but Jesse always loves these.
I do.
Handmade Mama LLC is a children's clothing boutique store. It is open in the Holiday Center on the second floor from the Skywalk Subway restaurant across the hallway in downtown Duluth, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Also, all of the products are available on handmademamallc.com, all lowercase. Mm-hmm. Free shipping on all orders within the U.S., custom clothing orders for kids and adults. All products are made with American milled fabrics, but also printed in the U.S. with organic ink.
Yes.
And you can also follow them on their social media at Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Handmaiden in Mama LLC, all lowercase. So what's the timestamp on that so I can send that to her?
That was 40. Do it at 48.
48 minutes? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So
and,
good mom and pop shop. Excellent owners. Do great work.
She makes everything herself in that back room.
Right.
And at home.
And you know what's wonderful? We're transitioning from that to this. We could probably send a gift to or a link to Baby Gargano.
We could, ladies and gentlemen. Jesse thought she was ready to pop any day. She waited,
and it happened.
She waited about a month, but Quill Gargano.
I like the name.
It's cute.
Yeah.
I like it. Unique. It's kind of adorable.
It's also 100% what Johnny would do.
Because he's a nerd.
He's a complete nerd. But yes, no, all of our love and our just
Absolutely.
complete congratulations to the Garganos.
Congratulations, guys.
Candace, please, we want you back as soon as possible. But please take some time to be a mother. Johnny, wherever you end up, sir, please enjoy your time as a new dad. I'm sure it is the highlight of your life right now.
Like it's such a weird thing for a man to say to a woman, as some people would tell me, but it was like I told me, I'm like, seriously, go watch it. Like it looks so true for like the longest time. I'm like, yo, when is that baby coming?
Yeah, right.
Does that baby look like it's ready to just be born into the world? But
oh my goodness,
beautiful baby. What a nice little name.
Yep,
like
no,
I love
very
it.
cute.
That's it. As I tell, from a dad to another dad is one of the greatest things you can have. Is a child having a son, don't matter, son or daughter.
Yep.
It's great. I'm so happy for him.
Right.
Now to move on to some more indie stuff here, because like I said, AEW, look at your ratings. There was nothing really to talk about other than what Jesse already highlighted. Jesse.
By the way, you said all that about Adam Cole, but he's probably going to be the champion after Revolution.
Yeah,
unfortunately, probably yes.
Yeah, I know. But Jesse, to be fair, he'll already be more legitimate after the win than Page's entire run.
And then they're pushing Keith Lee. You know, they say, hey, he can be main event. No, he's going to be the mid card. He's going after the TNT title.
Championship.
Yep.
I saw that. I'm like,
I'm sorry.
Really?
Weren't you supposed to be WWE in the WWE title picture? I believe you were.
Yeah.
Now, Keith, you had legitimate gripes.
Yep.
Could you not have just tried to work within the system a little bit longer?
Why do they go here, Jesse, and they stop us from defending them? Because we look at them and we're like, Adam, you sure you don't want to cut your hair? Keith, are you sure you don't want to go back and try this Bearcat thing a little longer?
People forget his first pay-per-view win was Randy Orton.
Yeah.
You're telling me they didn't believe in you?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I saw that,
they let you beat arguably the top 5 in their company history.
By the way, still top at least top 50 in the game right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When I saw that with him being for the TNT title, I was like, I started laughing. I'm like, really?
I actually missed it.
It's for a shot at the TNT title. It's not even for the TNT title because, by the way,
well, he's going to win it.
We're going to crush 2 big men who've worked their asses off for 4 years.
And they're going to do that. They're going to do it. Give it to Keith Lee so he can do it.
Keith
you know
might
it.
not win. I'm like, you ain't bringing in Keith Lee and not having him win. Don't give me this shit.
And give him a great mid-card
the
title.
Same way that Tony did. Don't even give me this crap. Jesse, he's not going to win. Maybe Hobbs will steal it. Really?
I just need WWE to find a way to just start working with other companies like they started to with Impact. Letting them, like Vince, just drop the ego.
Yeah.
Let them just speak on other wrestling. It's okay.
Yep.
Because I think that'll squash a lot of this shit with this love with AEW.
Yep.
Because really, Keith Lee, who could have been WWE champion, really? This is what we're doing.
And by the way, can I just say this?
It's pointless.
I'm mad because I love Keith Lee.
Right. Jesse.
So do I.
Jesse, we were on Keith's side on a lot of things.
Yeah.
But legitimate question. In the short time he was back from sickness, what was he really doing that was so egregious? I'm serious.
They were letting him go out and squash people.
What was so bad
Nothing
about what he was doing before he got released?
I don't get it.
What? What is the real gripe here?
He's a big guy. You can squish him.
I'll be fair. All
right.
I get it. You know what? I do get it. If I had to sit in a freaking office with Bruce Pritchard every day for 25 minutes, I want to quit wrestling too.
That's fair.
So to be fair to them, I get it. Because I've listened to his podcast, and after 20 minutes, I want to strangle this man. But Vince is the guy in charge. As Triple H would say to these guys, sometimes you got to go through horse shit to get to where you want to be. And if you can deal with the horse shit, listen, Cesaro got his shot, but listen, it's a match everyone remembers.
Yep.
And at some point, I think he will get another shot.
Yes.
Finn Balor has had multiple title matches. Like, I think these guys understand, like, listen, as long as Vince
and the other part about it is, Jesse,
fine.
Vince also does something that fans, I would think, would be happy.
Right.
Just because something happens, he doesn't throw his plans out the window for one guy.
Right.
So Keith was going to have to go through a bunch of no-name local talent guys for a while.
Right.
What, Jesse, again, and by the way, quick question. Even to Adam, everything that Adam listed as possibly egregious, Your hair, really? It grows back.
Right.
Your name, really?
They would have given it back.
6 months, you would have had it back.
Right.
And the fans would have chanted it anyway.
Right.
Well, yeah.
And by the way, also, having to manage Keith Lee, nothing against Keith, but Keith needed a bit of a mouthpiece, I think, to start.
Just a start.
Just to start.
Once he would have been a much better baby face, people back, he would have been fine.
The list of egregious things that everyone wants to list as why they left really weren't that bad. They really were not that bad. Because, Jesse, like to quote Triple H, like you said, you got to wade through a lot of muck to get to where you want to be. And, Jesse, again, with these guys, with their talent, with the buzz,
Right.
come on. They would have been this for 6 months, maybe.
Here's the thing, and why Triple H is always, he's been, remember, Kevin and Scott left to WCW.
Yes.
They weren't going to punish Shawn for the curtain call, so guess who suffered for a year and a half?
Triple H.
Triple H.
He was supposed to win King of the Ring.
He was supposed to win King of the Ring, and they basically buried him to the bottom of the card.
And by the way, to Hunter's credit, whether hate him for the for the tour
Right,
or whatever, he took it on the chin. He accepted it.
Right.
He took loss after.
Right.
As long as the check cleared.
Right.
As long as he could pay the bills, he took it.
Like, dude, because if Vince still sees you as an option at some point, guess what? When you're given your chance, fucking run with it.
Yeah. And he did.
When I see these guys at AEW, Brian is the only one where I go, he would have done well either way.
Yeah.
And I'm happy for him. He would have did well either way. Because he's Bryan Danielson.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
One of the greatest performers of all time. But you're going after the TNT title, man. And he's going to win it, and he deserves to win it.
But once again.
Keith Lee is a headline guy.
But once again, we're going to squash Sammy. Really?
Again? We don't need to. He's a good wrestler. He'd be good as that. Somebody else. Put Keith Lee into the heavyweight picture. That's what they need to do.
I'm calling it now. MJF's gone in a year and a half.
Why would he stay? I'm serious. He's still dealing with Punk. He should have been past Punk from day one.
Because he's also never going to get another title shot at this rate.
No. Because, okay, from Adam Page to Adam Cole to Keith Lee, MJF and Keith Lee makes no sense. Makes absolutely no sense. Zero.
No.
But not to mention the fact, we have to get, if they ever fucking actually pull the motherfucking trigger, we have to do Wardlow versus MJF for at least a month.
Right.
Well, for them it'll be 2 weeks.
For them it would be 2 years.
Like
I said, MJF's going to be gone when his contract comes up. I'm calling that now.
Why would he stay?
I think so.
No, I'm being serious. Why would he stay? And now we have a few things to get rid of. Leroy, you forgot to put something else on here. Jesse, we have a top 5 from you today, but you said this list will be easy, so I'm not worried about it. But first and foremost, we have another, and Jesse called it, Ring of Honor Hall of Famer. Ladies and gentlemen, the Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe. And by the way, ROH going back to live events and TV after Supercard of Honor.
Which is good news.
Are the guys from Impact going back, do you think? Do you think they'll work both?
Well, apparently the door has been opened.
Okay.
So, to be fair to them, the door was open for them to come back.
Yes.
Even if they want to still be contractually Impact exclusive.
Well, but that was PCO's deal, was that he's allowed to work other dates, but he has to prioritize
the Impact tapings.
Which, by the way, folks, that's not something that's...
They literally knock out 4 shows in a week.
Yeah. That's all it is.
And I did see with that too, they did announce along with him that they're going to announce one more final entry for this year's ROH Hall of Fame.
Be interesting to see who that is.
That's going to be Monday or Tuesday. They will announce that.
Just toss me something.
Hand some over to Zach. Then they're going to end that. Do we want to talk about the other Hall of Fame, or are we going to hold off on that?
Well, I think it's something that's obviously the biggest news, and this is Ben Roethlisberger. Maybe should have signed a 1-year deal, and here's why: to go in the Hall at the same time Brady, dude, you're gonna be forgotten in this WWE Hall because the Undertaker's the headliner. Nobody's
he is the
gonna
headliner.
go after the Undertaker.
Okay, here.
You know what sucks about this Hall of Fame for WWE now?
What's that?
Because they're probably also going to do Batista this year.
Yeah.
They might do it, or they might hold off.
Well, because remember, they were supposed to do it, and then with the pandemic, his whole thing was, I want to do this in front of fans, because one thing about Dave, I know some people don't like how sometimes like he'll get political, which to me, I think most of the time he's right.
Yeah.
But he's also insanely humble about his wrestling career.
And okay, but here's the thing: no one's gonna be sad to go in this year, even if Dave doesn't get as much shine, because they have so much love and respect for this guy.
Right.
There's so much love.
But
and
I
respect
said
for Mark
they
Calloway.
might pull it and not put Dave in this year to put him in next year.
I'm actually really happy they did Mark Calloway this year because
maybe get it over with.
He deserves.
He looks healthier now.
Yeah.
But 3 weeks ago, I was like, ooh.
He's in Texas. They're in Texas for WrestleMania.
Well,
it's his home state.
Right.
Why
It's
not?
his home state, right.
But my other point of it is you know what? I'm sorry. This is like you need to get this out of the way because if you waited a couple of years, all they're going to keep asking every year is when is it going to be taken?
Right.
So just get it over with, move on.
And here's the fun part.
You might as well do Triple H next year. That's why I think they'll do Batista this year as a co-headliner.
Oh, I say they might. Okay, yeah, and then Triple H next year. Here's a fun question too. Who is going to introduce him? Are they going to have?
I think it'll be Kane.
Is it going to be Kane? Most likely Kane.
It's got to be Glenn.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. There's no one.
The only other person that could do it would be Vince.
No, the only other person that could do it sadly has passed away.
Well, yeah, and Paul. Yeah, Paul Bearer. Yeah.
Sorry. No one else can do it.
Yeah. Vince is the only one.
Well, Vince has always said though he's going to try not to induct anyone though.
Didn't he induct Stone Cold?
No.
That was
Was that JR?
Yeah, I think so. We'll have to look
Vince
that up.
Vince, as far as I know and remember, he has never been up there to introduce anybody. He's always been back in Gorilla and his table back.
Well, apparently,
there always,
even recently, he doesn't even like. So apparently, there's like two major things Vince doesn't like. He doesn't like them to thank him. Like I said, he might be sometimes a ruthless son of a bitch, but the man has a heart of gold.
Guys,
yes.
Guys, Vince inducted Stone Cold Steve.
Oh, he did.
I thought he did not.
He did.
Oh,
he's going to be the only one.
Well, hey, that probably is the only one.
Yeah.
The only one he would do, I would think he would do, would be like Andre the Giant is on the other
Vince.
one.
I know the relationship. I know the loyal soldier thing. It's got to be Glenn. I'm sorry, but
it would be perfect.
No, because here's the deal. I don't think Taker would be this without Kane.
Right.
Kane is clearly not Kane without Taker, but I think even Mark would say without Glenn, I don't rise to what I did because this was the only other guy who was able.
What the Kane kind of character did was add this huge lore to these guys.
Which, by the way, went on for their entire runs.
I know.
It was never for. By the way, Kane still the best acting job ever. WrestleMania 20 when he goes to poke the Undertaker, like, are you real?
Yes.
Still an all-time moment for me.
That'll be great. I'm looking forward to the next 40 days, whatever, few weeks of what they're going to start in.
So apparently that's going to be right after SmackDown too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they said it's going to be a super SmackDown that they haven't said when it's going to be on. Most likely it's going to be on what, Peacock? Do you think?
Yeah. Also,
I hope so I can cry when I watch it.
What was overshadowed by Cody? Credit to Cody, but at the same time overshadowed. Reportedly, they've got Stone Cold Steve Austin in a match.
Possibly.
At WrestleMania. Reportedly, they have a signed, sealed, delivered deal for this. Great person to do it with because I think despite the fact Kevin likes to do stupid shit, Kevin's a safe guy to work with.
Absolutely.
The stunner thing works. He's already talking about hating on Texas.
Right.
Yes, that totally does work.
And also, by the way, for such a wrestling nerd, Kevin Owens is like, oh, I would have re-signed just like you offered me this. I'll re-sign.
I will take the ass whooping of Stone Cold.
Damn straight.
Don't get it twisted. I will take that ass whooping for $1 million.
Because remember, Stone Cold's exact words when Kevin came to ask about doing the stunner, he was like, well, hell, I'm surprised nobody ever asked.
Well, out of respect, he did ask.
Yeah.
Which is great. Yes.
But
I'm looking forward to it. If that is going to happen, that'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun.
Jesse?
When they announced the Undertaker, because
New York Post, by the way, got to say it.
I actually teared up because I went, fuck. All right, well that's my childhood. That's it.
Well, as I told Eben,
it exists until he walks off the stage.
As I told Eben when I was watching, I said I got to watch his first match when he came in. I said then Eben, I got to watch his last match with you.
Yeah.
I got to tell people.
I'm so happy about that.
And I can't believe I'm going to say it. Because some people are like, have you ever cried at any of them? I'm like, Eddie was close.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
But when they let Triple H walk across that stage, like I told my cousin, believe it or not, because I hated him most of his career because he was a damn gray heel.
You were supposed to.
I'm going to cry because that guy's my hero.
Yeah.
Well, the one time I know I did, and I know Zach did too, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Jake,
That
Jake's was hard to watch.
That got me. Oh,
Jake's was
God,
hard
that
to
got
watch.
me.
When the
God.
little kid, that
God.
melts in my heart,
Yep.
dude.
But I think the biggest thing that it got me was I watched.
Right.
And if you haven't watched it, anybody listening,
The
Resurrection of Jake the Snake,
Roberts.
if you don't watch, I watched that, and then I watched the ceremony. That made me cry.
Yep. All right, Jesse, I have a question for you.
Right.
Your top 5 first, or do you want that thing at number 2, which I haven't told anyone about? It's a new segment on our show.
Let's do the top 5 because I'm.
All right, so Jesse, I asked you last week if you wanted to do another top 5. You were down for it.
Yeah.
You said you didn't have to do any real research because this was going to be simple. Your top 5 curmudgeon-y, old, just angry windbags in wrestling right now.
Number 5.
All right.
And I can't believe I forgot about that. I should have wrote
It's okay.
the paper I had. I threw it away.
You should
Unfortunately,
listen to the show on the off week.
Your boys, Jim Cornette. Listen,
Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you.
I respect Jim.
Yeah.
I've even come to, like I've told Zach, I've even come to actually listen to the show with a
If it wasn't
perspective of education.
If it wasn't for the Young Bucks, he might be number 1 for you.
Close, because he's
Yeah.
been right about a lot of shit
Yeah.
as I've listened to the show.
Yeah.
But my
I
God,
will say this: listening to him read that TV format by Vince Russo,
Oh my God.
funniest goddamn.
I
That
did.
was
I
awesome.
finally got the chance to listen to it. How did that guy work in pro wrestling for so long?
But Jesse, remember, before, not steal from you, he said he had 100 ideas. Vince liked 2, and then Vince wouldn't let Vince Russo touch anything involving the 2 ideas.
Jesus.
A
Anyway,
blind monkey eventually finds the banana.
but the problem with Jim Cornette to me has always been he's such an old asshole. Like, such a, stop getting on my lawn, old asshole about pro wrestling.
Yeah.
I mean, some of his comments about NWA, I'm like, wow, you're right, Jim. You also sound like a bitter dickhead.
They did fire him for no real good reason, to be honest with
They
you.
should have
though.
suspended him and then figured it
Well,
out.
not only
after
that, but Jesse, he was right about one thing. It was a taped show,
Right.
And if the editor,
You could have just edited it out.
well, not only that, but if the editor thought nothing of it, why are we even caring that a bunch of crotchety fans got mad at it? Like,
right.
anyway,
But he's number 5. And like I said, as much as I like Jim, he's number 5.
okay.
Number 4.
Do you have any honorable mentions on that one? for the
So
list?
there's only one honorable mention.
Okay.
This is going to come as a shock.
Are you gonna put that on the? Are you gonna post
yeah.
that up?
Oh,
Okay. Yeah.
Honorable mention is Vince McMahon.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's an interesting one.
You're holding on to your friends too long, buddy. I know you're almost 80. That's kind of, when you get up there, you just, you got the grandbaby, but as hard / easy as it may be to kind of let the wrestlers go and let staff
Jesse,
go.
Jesse, I apologize for interrupting. Smell curmudgeon.
What is it? C.
R-I.
I think it's C-E.
Well,
Oh,
if I had Alexa on, you could ask her and she'd tell you. But
And
I don't have.
I'll
her
look it
on.
up. You go ahead and finish.
Google
I
with
was
that
about to say,
shit.
you definitely got to look that up.
I'll look it
got
up. Finish with Vince.
But with Vince, you become a crotchety old man. It's not likable, and I don't like hearing you cut promos anymore because
I understand, in age, like my many years that Zach D telling me I am. You keep on to your friends, because you never know when you're going to lose all of them because you're going to keep going older.
I'm not saying you can't still be friends with your friends, but it's clear you
Just
shouldn't
don't
let your
listen.
friends work for you anymore.
No.
But he's honorable mention.
Okay.
Number 4, Tommy Dreamer.
I'm gonna go with old crotchety. How's that?
That works.
All
Old
right.
crotch, that works.
Tommy Dreamer. This guy was my hero. He was probably Aaron Bull's hero as a kid. I mean, we went to those ECW shows.
Yes.
Loved him.
Yep.
What the fuck has he become?
Well, he's been hanging around Bully too much.
Yeah.
He should have been in honorable mentions. I failed. I didn't even think of
I'll
Bully
add
Ray.
it. I'll add it.
Because he's never on my mind until I hear him talk. And then I'm like, why do you still have a show?
By the way, once again, we'd like to send our condolences to Devon. We are happy he'll be able to play with his kids.
Right.
Please don't ever get in the ring again. Don't ever do it.
You know what, though?
Thank you for everything, but you're done.
He doesn't need to.
Nope.
He's doing good work as a producer. He doesn't need to.
He is.
Tommy Dreamer. It's not, because to me, it's not just all the Dark Side of the Ring interviews, which by the way, Tommy, don't sit there. Man, they spun my words. No, they didn't. All they did was put him out there.
And by the way, no one else, even as bad as some other people have come
Right.
on, no one else has ripped the Dark Side of the Ring guys do really good work.
Because they just say, like, just tell your truth.
Yeah.
Tell your truth.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to edit it in any way to try to make you look bad or anything. Just tell your truth, because you guys are telling the stories to the fans. So, Tommy Dreamer, by the way, who is back in Impact, which I have no problem with.
No, not at all.
But come on, you old little bitch. All right. Number 3. This is going to come as a shock to people.
All right.
Gato, what the fuck are you doing?
Is it GATO?
GEDO.
Okay.
What are you doing? What is Torture Club? Why are you trying to actively ruin New Japan with Torture Club? And why haven't you brought any of the Stars of Strong over to Japan yet? They are exclusively signed to you. Some of them are.
Jonah, I think, is more Impact.
Right. Here's the other thing with Gato. Congratulations to Sonata. Finally a heavyweight champion, but he's IWGP US heavyweight champion. We took 7 years to do this.
Well, 6 in New Japan, 7 if you add his excursion.
Gato, what? Why are we waiting this long to do this shit?
True.
Listen, they have their traditions.
Yes.
And as I tell people,
sometimes it's worse than Vince's traditions.
Like I tell people, I love the Japanese culture, but the more I learn, it's probably why I'm not ever moving over there, even though I used to want to. Some of the traditions are just not for me as an American, because I have a propensity for violence, unfortunately, as an American. So
you do.
But Gato, this needs to be better the rest of this year and last year, because then in the interviews to the press explaining the bookings, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I would rather listen to Bruce Pritchard lie to me for 5 minutes about why he's terrible at booking.
Well, there you go.
Gato has.
There we go.
Gato just comes up with 20 excuses in like 15 seconds. But Gato's number 3. I still love him.
I know you do.
I still love New Japan, guys. I do.
I know you do.
But Gato's number 3. Number 2.
Which, once again, here at 13 Cards, we are honest about all of our criticisms and loves.
Number 2.
You said there was one female.
Here she comes.
Okay.
Oh.
You know, I am all for women's wrestling.
Yeah.
I've actually been for it since 2011 when I got to kind of go see a Shimmer show a friend brought me to, and I was just blown the fuck away.
Good shows in Shimmer.
Right. And then just seeing Mercedes, because he reminded me, he's like, Mercedes was there. I'm like, dude, I forgot she was. And he was like, yeah, she was the champion at the time. I've been to WWE shows. I got to admit, that was one of the first indie shows where I'm like, dude, we've been here for 2.5 hours, but I've been so blown away by everything, I haven't realized I've been sitting here that long. Mm-hmm. I forget her name, but she's head booker at Shimmer. I'm gonna have to look this up.
I got it.
I understand the pandemic shut people down.
Yeah.
I understand it was tough for people to kind of start coming back in late 2020, 2021. And I understand it's been hard for wrestling companies to kind of get some of the venues back and things of that nature. Why are you blaming the fans? You've been at this for 30 years. Why are you blaming the fans? Who want to see the... What? I'm sorry. Are you the John Elway of pro wrestling now? We're just bitter. We're just bitter. We hate young people, and so anytime I can blame young people, I'm just gonna fucking do it.
Yeah.
So it's the fans' fault you currently can't work with Stardom. How is it our fault? I don't understand her. And here's the thing with bookers. I like bookers to speak more because it's when they say when they give you insight. Like when I listen to Scott D'Amore, he gives you insight on Impact, and it makes you appreciate the product so much more, knowing he is the lead booker.
This is about, so there's about 105 women currently in Shimmer.
I believe it's Chantel. I might be wrong. Like I said, I'll find the actual name here in a second so you can put it on the list.
Yeah.
But don't go blaming the fans. That's all I'm saying. And by the way, Shimmer, glad to see Shimmer back, doing good things. Got a couple big shows coming up. And I tell people, I'm still trying to catch up with Stardom because I didn't have my script for a while, so I've been using a friend to try to catch up. Number 1, we all saw this coming. Bruce Pritchard. Leroy, I'm trying to understand. How did this man book good wrestling in the 90s at all?
His brain was actually working then, maybe.
Vince.
It wasn't old. Vince, probably.
I need somebody to tell me how he did it. Maybe a little bit of the early 2000s before he decided to go to TNA/Impact.
I think it would be Vince, saying, no, that's not good, and that's a good. Okay, this one's good.
Once again, tripping over in that one decade, arguably 4, if not 5, of the top 10 greatest wrestlers of all time.
Yeah.
So with that said, we get him to today. This man can't book pro wrestling. He can't do it. MAW is doing wonderful things. Eric from DPW recently put a post up. By the way, guys, he had things to take care of. That's why he wasn't on the show today. Yeah. But we're hoping to still have him on before we go to DPW 2.
He does want to.
And he does want to.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But I think his post about MAW says a lot about the indies right now.
Oh, MAW puts on high-quality shows.
MAW has grown to be this company now that in the Midwest, wherever they go now, they basically sell out.
Oh, yeah.
The wrestling is great.
Outdoor shows, indoor shows.
Right.
American Legion.
Right.
Casino, tour, wherever.
Dave and Eli and Tony, all those guys do insanely wonderful work.
Yeah.
And have busted their ass to build what I think might be the best Midwest company. It's not a knock on the other ones, but I think MAW might be the best Midwest wrestling company right now.
Very consistent in their booking as well.
And by the way, incredibly kind.
Mm-hmm. Great guy.
Have treated us with nothing but love anytime we've been to a show. Very sweet. Let you get your ass whooped a little bit, Zach, which you deserve it.
Fair enough.
He got his first acting debut.
Yeah.
Your son got his first win in wrestling.
Right.
I know, which is great too. Yeah.
Got to beat Wrestler X, which listen, they're wonderful.
They are.
And Eli is an old school wrestling fan.
He is.
I don't believe if Eli was booking in WWE that he would allow at least 80% of the shit that Bruce does to go through. I think he even would go to Vince like, I'm telling you, man, this is a terrible idea. Don't do this. This is a terrible idea, man. Well, you know what? I'll just relate it to the pay-per-view last night. You don't want to beat Bobby. You kind of find out he has an injury a little bit before this match.
Since the Rumble,
which is why he hasn't really wrestled much.
Yeah.
So your way out of it is to do a concussion angle where you actually almost concuss the man.
Yes. Because Bobby did not look ready for what happened.
Mm-mm.
I don't blame Seth. I don't blame Austin.
No.
They were literally probably going, I think this is the time we're supposed to do the spot, right?
Yep.
Here's the thing, though. Then don't fucking beat Bobby. Don't beat him. Brock already had his title match. So now Roman's going to be a double champion for at least a month.
Yeah.
Probably at least a month.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I don't know. I was definitely not.
Oh, you know what? It's because Bruce went, we're just not selling as many tickets right now in Texas. Dude, there's still a month before Mania.
Yeah.
You're telling me you won't sell most of those tickets before Mania?
They'll sell
That
out.
could be a booking problem.
Yeah,
If
maybe,
people don't want to come see WrestleMania, maybe that's a booking problem.
maybe it is. Well, from the darkness of Jesse's hatred of...
And like I said, we'll actually have her name on the listing.
Yes.
Like I said, I cannot remember it right now. Also, just her booking of her own world champion. I've never seen, like, WWE sometimes will do the whole beating their world champion thing.
Yeah.
Not as bad as Shimmer.
From the darkness of the old curmudgeons to the light side of the dark side, Jesse.
Dark Arts Entertainment presents to you live pro wrestling monthly at the Super Beast Training Compound located in the Arts District of Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada. A hybrid of pro wrestling with an underground feel. Dark Arts Entertainment shows also include live bands, sideshow entertainment, food, beer, and more. And as always, Dark Arts Entertainment is 420 friendly. So bring your weed, baby. Get a little high.
Yeah.
Have a little fun. So come see top talent and matchups, which you won't find in any other promotion in Vegas. As I've talked about before, they get some of that best talent from not only Vegas itself, but they'll pull some of the people from Texas. They pull a lot of people from the
Southern
California area.
Yeah.
And so you're getting a lot of really good young talent maybe you've only kind of heard about before. So for more information or to get tickets, head over to darkartsvegas.com or grab their official mobile app from the app store from either iOS or Android today. I believe it was up and running again. It might have shut down again.
Right. Yeah.
I'm hoping to reach out to them today. Okay. I don't know why it's been having problems, but I think I found a show to go to.
Oh, really?
Sweet.
Sometime in late May, I think I found a show to go to. What I will do is off camera, I'll show you guys what they are marketing for it.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
And if maybe you and the wife want to come.
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe you want to bring I don't know if you want to bring the kids because there could be some nudity there.
Yeah,
but,
maybe.
Well, Evan's getting a little bit older, you know. He might like boobies.
I'll only say this. In
I love
2022, there is only really one show that me and the missus are looking forward to. I'm sorry, but I've waited 12 years. I'm going to go see My Chemical Romance. I'm sorry, I am. I have no choice.
Is that actually official?
Yes.
Okay.
$500 for tickets. I'm going.
Jesus.
They were resale, so that's not what they were charging. They were just resale. But no. It's been canceled twice due to COVID. I'm going. I will join the Black Parade one more time.
See, they're gonna do. That'll pay for my new board.
That better be the best damn 3-hour show ever for $500.
I waited 12 years.
Gerard way better slap me with something in between his legs for $500. Are you kidding me?
They'd be good enough to have a cigarette after that.
Right.
They were resale, so that wasn't the original
right.
selling price.
But I'm
People
assuming they were
reselling.
probably $200 or something like that.
Somewhere around that, yeah.
Oh.
I opened for them years ago, years and years and years ago. I would have never thought they would have garnered this much love.
Well, but they also were gone for 10 years before they sold those tickets. So
should have stayed. I'm kidding.
I love me some.
You can send your emo hate to Jay Stowe is awesome.
And also for future guests, he will be on the show. We can't wait to have him back. He's a sponsor of the show. Haitian Heat Hot Sauce. He won, ladies and gentlemen. He is the Is it the ABF?
ABF Cruiserweight Champion.
The ABF Cruiserweight Champion in a knockout victory to a man who had never been knocked out.
Right.
We're going to save it for Al to come talk about it himself. We're hoping to get him on. We're hoping to get some more insight into the Haitian Heat business because, once again, folks, they're taking off. They're doing good. They were on break so that he can go with the training.
Finish training. Because like we tell you guys.
His reward were Toby's. We should call Toby's and see if they want to sponsor us. That's a hell of a reward.
Yeah, I know. I
watched
watched
Minnesota,
that.
It's a hell of a reward.
Right.
I watched it on. I was on Facebook. Was it Minnesota Boxing Org or whatever?
Something
it was?
like that. Minnesota Boxing Club or something like that.
It was great to watch on there. I loved it.
And also, DPW2 is still available. There are some front row tickets, I believe, as of this recording, still available.
Right.
But there's always other tickets available,
Correct.
and it's going to be a great show if you're in the area. If not, we've traveled 4 hours for a show.
So
God,
Alex
yes, we
Riley
have.
also just announced.
Did you
that
know? The main
main
event.
event.
the main event will now be a tag match for the DPW Championship. You see, Joey Jet Avalon, who might hit me with the shovel, but he's a shovel-wielding son of a bitch.
We could talk to him
And
about that.
has
He's a bad man.
you can talk to him about it. I will sit in
I'll-
the corner with all the protection in the world. So as much
How
passion
does
as
that? Can you
possible.
hit him with a shovel? I want to record it. He'd be like, okay,
You're the only one on the show that gets hurt, Leroy.
I want to
So,
try.
Here's the thing, she can win on her own, Sierra.
Yes.
But this shovel-loving son of a bitch likes to hit people with a shovel. So Alex Riley said, well, listen, we're going to give the power couple.
You pulling it up?
I got it.
Not Lacey.
No.
There's so many names in pro wrestling that I get tongue-tied on them. Thank you. So the power couple of former Impact Women's Champion CVE and Mikey Wild, Operation Best Friends, are getting a title shot. So basically, it's either Mikey pins Joey or Sierra, or she pins Joey or Sierra. One of them will be the DPW champion.
Can't wait for that match. Eric loves to bring you as much diversity in wrestling as he can. Eric subscribing to the fact that women can get in there and have just as good a match as anybody else.
Yeah.
Although Jordan Grace got a little bit too overzealous in her match versus Matt Cardona.
Yeah.
And Matt Cardona got his ass whooped.
I heard he had a problem like I had.
But he kind of lost. He kind of still won the title. So.
He did. So
Unfortunately, but he got his
Jesse,
ass whipped.
Jesse, how good was the Impact pay-per-view?
Oh man! So I had to kind of catch it on a replay.
You've been saying that if they were in arenas the size of WWE, the fans would not leave disappointed on anything.
Anytime you go to a 2 to 3 hour Impact show, you're gonna have incredible pro wrestling.
Nikki's
fun.
still a champ, but it's as believable as you can get at this point.
Nikki's
She's
still incredible.
She's arguably better now at 42 than
Right.
she was when she was in
right,
WWE.
Right. And I think, well, like I said, she was another one who, when she initially left her initial leaving,
Yeah.
or let go, whatever.
Yeah.
She just grew so much as a pure wrestling performer.
She did, yeah.
That it was. I mean, she was great in WWE. her
Oh,
first
she
run,
was,
but
yes. Yeah, no, fantastic.
It's been incredible to see how much she has sustained that high quality level
Yes.
of pro wrestling. And then there's Jay White, my king, my liege,
I saw that was very interesting.
Jesse.
who decided to break my heart.
He did.
And he beat. And he
Sometimes
betrayed
royalty must make a very tough choice.
He betrayed the OGs. And
Well, one of them. Two of them.
Well, yeah, two of them. There was two of them
He
in
brought
there.
one back in.
Yeah.
I don't know what my heart hurts.
Like I said, today is
It is a rough day.
This is the part of the soap opera where Jesse has to really
Jay,
oversell the heart.
Jay, you're gonna have to explain this. I don't. I know you boys have had your disagreements, but you're the king. You're Switchblade. I mean, you beat the shit out of Trent Barreto on Rampage, which was great. But
What a reversal. Sorry, Trent.
by the way, proving once again he's probably better than almost every other wrestler in that company besides Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. If you get the American Dragon versus the King switch,
I'll come, cry, and die. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I did not see the betrayal coming.
Really?
Because it felt like maybe they made up.
Chris Bay, I don't know. Did they tell him about it, do you think?
I don't think they told him, which is why his face was so shocked.
I'll give Chris credit.
If he knew, he sold that excellently.
That, and if he didn't know, and he didn't know what he was supposed to do, he kind of just sat there and waited for his spot.
Whew!
To the Tongans. The OG. The GOD.
I love Jay, but I fear for his future. You see, there are two Samoans.
Where does the Rogue General fall in all this?
Yeah, interesting. We'll find out because if you watch New Japan Strong, he's been there because he's been working with the kids at the dojo.
He has.
So we will find out his thoughts.
Very soon.
I fear for Jay White's future because they are not known to take betrayal very well.
He did not seem worried, though. did the King.
They're
Are
not,
they bringing Chris Bay over, by the way?
Maybe. We hope so.
Okay, all right.
But they're not kicking the Tongans out. I mean, that's their group.
Right.
They
are Bullet Club.
I fear for Jay. Because either
the King didn't seem worried.
He's put together a little faction to try to battle them, or he's about to take him and his new faction are about to take a severe ass whooping, and I mean severe. I mean, for people who don't remember what AJ Styles' beating was like before he showed up in WWE,
yeah,
just go find YouTube, find his final match.
It's there.
It's hard to watch.
Oh, yeah.
They fucked him up something fierce.
There was no doubt just in that beatdown that he was not staying in New Japan.
He wasn't coming back.
No. That was not happening.
Somehow wrestled the next night at the Royal Rumble.
Red Eye flighted his way to the Royal Rumble.
But yeah, so with that said, still an excellent pay-per-view.
Oh, by the way,
an incredible champion.
Yep. What a match they had, by the way. It was hard hitting. Oh, by the way, former Impact star and former ROH Women's Champion Roxy is now officially signed to WWE.
She will be in NXT 2.0.
Yep. We wish her the best of luck, folks.
Is she gonna be in 2.0 or it'd be level up? She could be in either one, probably.
She'll be in both.
Yeah.
That's all NXT anyway.
Yeah.
But
but I mean, all the luck to her. Another gal that I think, much like Cora Jade, was kind of, where did you drop the ball on this, other people? But we'll see what happens.
And then Rachel Ellerling just left.
Yeah.
Scott, got to be careful.
Yeah.
I mean, the women's division right now in Impact is fairly deep, but if they keep leaving, it won't be.
Nope. Yep. All right, Jesse, I have toyed with your emotions all day, unintentionally. It's a new segment on the show that Leroy doesn't know the actual premise of.
Well, when you
thought it was
when I got a text from your lovely future bride there, I was like,
she is quite lovely.
Well, yeah, she was so lovely when she greeted me at work. She gave me the finger. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I gave her the finger right back.
I called him a fat penguin in front of all of his coworkers.
To be fair, that is much nicer than the greeting I got.
right? Yeah. But anyway, yes. We were driving back from the cities because there was only one card shop within about 300 miles taking bulk.
Jeez.
Got $38 for 200 pounds of bulk. Didn't need it. I'll take the $38. Didn't need it. But anyway, we drove to the cities. We dropped off bulk. I parked illegally, and then we left. I ain't paying for 4 hours of parking just to drop off some cards. Fuck that bullshit. I was running around the corner from the card shop. But anyway, I thought to myself, could you text Leroy while I'm thinking about it and tell him that on the show this week, we need Table for 3.
Okay.
There is not a new episode of Table for 3. I want to make that very clear.
Okay.
This is a new segment on the show that, much like the top 5, can be brought up any week by any member of the show.
Okay.
Jesse, I'm going to give you 3 people.
Okay.
But when I say table for 3, you're at the table. You have to pick 2 out of the 3 people to sit at that table with.
Oh,
okay.
Damn.
So I'm going to give you 3 people, and you have to explain to us why you're picking the 2 that you're picking, but also why you're kicking out the person that you're kicking out.
Oh.
So
am I going to have to do this too?
So let me think.
We'll do Jesse this week, but if like I said, any week anyone can throw that gauntlet at anybody on the show.
So almost like they would do Table for 3, but
you would do table for no. It's table for 3,
right.
But you're on the table, but there's only 2 other chairs. But you have 3 options of people to put in those 2 chairs.
Oh, ooh,
that'd be good.
I'm gonna make you explain.
No.
One is Roman.
No.
He's gonna give you the
I'm
3, and then you can
people.
pick.
Oh, okay.
And then you have to explain why you're picking 2 out of.
Out
of this.
Okay,
See, I could name 2 other people that sit at the table.
You are,
too.
Jesse, if nothing more, a self-proclaimed New Japan stan.
I am.
I'm going to make you pick between 3 men.
Okay.
And I was originally going to do Gato, but I think that I can pick one other person in that group of 3 to be bigger in New Japan lore to force you to pick.
Okay.
Your 3 people.
Okay.
The Great Muta.
Ooh.
The man himself, Anoki-san.
Ooh.
And Baba.
Oh.
You must pick 2 men to sit with, and you have to say no to one of them.
Unfortunately for these two, I mean, Inoki automatically gets a seat
Fair enough.
because to pick his brain.
But you're also a big Baba guy. You loved what Baba created with
This is hard.
Is it Noah or is it All Japan? Was Baba's thing?
It was all Japan.
Okay, it was All Japan.
Oh man.
But Jesse, to ignore Muda and everything he
It's
is.
to ignore God.
Yes.
I don't do that.
No.
We don't do that here.
I would hand down. Muda would have been one of them at my table, definitely. I know.
Well,
I wouldn't
like I
doubt
said,
that,
Inoki has
That's
to
me.
be
But
there.
But Inoki-san is your guarantee. So now you have to pick between.
Oh man.
Because here's the deal, folks. For those of you that don't
This
know,
hurts.
For those of you that don't know, while Jesse's going through this, Jesse has been so about All Japan Wrestling just as much as he has New Japan Pro
And I
Wrestling.
do love Noah too. I'm gonna go Boba. I'm actually gonna go against God. I'm gonna go to hell.
You want to sit with
I'll pray with you.
with Baba, and you want to sit with
Inoki.
with Inoki-san. All right.
Oh, I didn't pick Muda, and the only reason I didn't is because the others could probably give me so much more insight, even including about Great Muda. Oh, but I really want to sit with Muda.
Oh, he would have been my guarantee right there.
I'm gonna love this segment going forward so many times.
Oh man, the New Japan fans are not going to let me live this one down. Oh man.
See,
Now, but now, Jesse, in a slightly happier moment, give us.
I'm happy, but
Give us the
I'm
whys.
hurting.
Give us the whys to
So,
why these two.
I mean, Inoki, it's because it's not just the history of New Japan Pro Wrestling and how all the whole feudal like war between them and All Japan and all that stuff happened. It's also his relationships with Vince, his relationship with Eric Bischoff, like his understanding of pro wrestling as a whole, all the stories he could tell about all the wrestlers he's worked with and helped to bring up, including here in America.
Yeah.
His own legendary matches, his political career,
Faced Ali.
basically almost
Yeah.
being killed in his own country for some of his choices.
The North Korea story from his perspective would be absolutely phenomenal.
So Inoki for me is the guarantee because the
Yeah.
man has so much in that brain. By the way, he's still as sharp as ever.
Oh,
at
he
the
really
end of
is.
80
Yeah.
years
No.
old.
Once again, proving that Japanese, especially, age like an absolute fine wine.
He's still amazing. Boba.
Baba.
Sorry, I keep saying Boba on accident.
No, I understand.
Baba is simply.
he's part of Star Wars.
Yeah, fair enough.
Baba is simply one of the greatest wrestling attractions of all time,
Yes.
and booked his own company like that. He
got the American style of
Yeah.
wrestling, maybe more than even Inoki did. Because
Right.
remember the difference between All Japan and New Japan. Although again, the strong style is always there.
Right.
It's always going to be strong
Right,
style.
right.
All Japan was much more NWA style.
It was also kind of flashy.
Yes, exactly.
Now, New Japan kind of took a flashier turn in the 2000s, but
Well, they had no choice. They were starting to fall on their own sword.
well, I was about to say when All Japan and Noah are starting to do better numbers on shows,
That's not good.
I wasn't good for them.
No.
No.
They have been kings for a long time.
Yeah.
Baba has to have so many wrestling. Just his own career.
Yeah.
So what was it like to fight this guy and this guy? And what was it like to actually beat up a couple of members of the Japanese mafia? I forget what they're called.
Yakuza.
And still not die.
Yeah.
Could you inform me? Because over there, most of the promoters just took the money, took them as business partners, and moved on.
Jesse, when's your birthday?
January 22nd.
22nd.
Yeah.
Baba
just-
was born a day after.
I know.
So Zach with this table for 3.
By the way, folks, 6'10", 310 pounds, passed away from colon cancer
Yeah.
at the age of only 61.
Yeah, it was young.
1999.
So
Right.
okay, So it could be dead or alive. You get this table for 3 if you throw one at me.
The idea is to basically throw 3 people that are going to force that person to be like, okay, there has to be one game, and this is coming from the person's perspective. Okay, you give them 3 people. Well, of course there's going to be one guarantee because you get 2 slots.
Right.
Now you have to choose between 2 childhood icons to put on that second chair.
Okay.
Because no, there's no honorable mention. Speaking of which, find that name from Shimmer so we
Yeah.
can get that.
Yeah,
going.
I should get that.
But yes. So the point there is, but for a little bit of history, debuted September 30th, 1960. He was comparable to Hulk Hogan in the United States. The 2006 top 100 historical persons in Japan ranked Baba 92 in the history of Japan.
Wow.
So once again, showing that they do care about professional wrestling over in Japan.
Yeah.
He was he's an overall a 3-time world champion. He won the 10 pounds of gold on 3 separate occasions. He is also a former professional baseball player
Oh.
in the 1950s.
Correct.
All right. Okay.
Yep. His list of accomplishments was the All-Asian Heavyweight Champion, the NWA International Tag Team Champion, 6 times with Jumbo Tsuruta. 6 times. He was a 3-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion, 4-time PWF World Champion. Mm-hmm. He was the champion of Carnival in 73, 74, 75, 77, 78, 81, and 82. World's Strongest Tag Determination League with Ceruto.
Yep.
Jumbo Ceruto. He also was a World's Strongest Tag Determination League Skill Award winner with Dory Funk Jr.
Correct.
In 1985. International Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame class of 2021. So there's a put him in this.
Yeah.
He was the Japanese Wrestling Association in NWA International Heavyweight Champion 3 times, and a list of other things. The NWA Detroit World Tag Team Champions with Tsuruta. And in 2003, remember, debuted in 1960. In 2003, was number 26 on the Pro Wrestling Illustrated Top 500. So, just a quick note there, folks. The man, the myth, he
The
was
legend.
at 6'10" in Japanese professional wrestling.
I can't believe I didn't take Muda, but
See, now, when he did that to you, I'm a little scared
you should be.
if he's going to throw it to me because dead or alive, the table, oh, my God.
Table for 3, ladies and gentlemen. Also, I hate to say this, he did receive some awards from the Wrestling Observer newsletter back when they mattered.
Right.
He was a 3-time Best Booker of the Year, 3
Yeah.
years in a row, back when Dave didn't just talk about Japanese wrestling because he liked Kenny Omega. He talked about real Japanese wrestling.
Right.
He was the Promoter of the Year from 1990 to 1994.
Mm-hmm.
Great booking of all
Man,
Japan in the
right.
early 90s. Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame, class of 96. Worst tag team with Andre the Giant, both in 1990 and 91. I believe that was the Machine days.
Something like that.
Yeah, okay. So, but Jesse, I'm sorry. I had to do it only because you are kind of the guinea pig test run on some of these things.
And I mean, Muda is a wealth of knowledge.
He is.
A wealth of knowledge and being very fearful. Because
His entrance against Tajiri will still stand as one of those moments of just Tajiri might have actually shat his pants in that moment, and he knew it was happening.
Muda struck fucking fear into the hearts of his opponents. I mean,
Yeah.
but not like Baba.
In Japan, to be 6'10", 300 pounds and move the way that
Right.
he did, it's grainy footage, but you watch some of them Baba matches, you're just like, God
He was smooth.
damn.
He was so smooth.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't know people
Other
call
than the
Andre the greatest
presentation and
giant.
the flashiness, what was the common difference, and what drove the wedge between the fan bases of All Japan to New Japan?
The purism in which New Japan fans used to have.
Okay.
It wasn't as poisonous as what we have in America now.
Right.
But it's this purism that, because basically Inoki booked it like a sport.
He did. Yeah. that's why he brought in Ali, was the
Right.
idea to show his style versus classics. The problem is when you bring someone in as big as Ali at the time,
Right.
there was a lot of I don't want to say political, but there was a lot of political sports stuff going on.
And then
they didn't
also,
want Ali to lose.
And then also, like, the disagreement a lot for that. By the way, you can find that footage now of him with the "I'm going to lay down and make sure that the boxer can't hit me" tactic.
Yeah.
Which is still some of the funniest footage, because I'm like, those people have to be pissed. They paid a lot of money
Yeah.
to see that shit.
Yeah, it was a lot of money to get into that show.
But Baba said, well, I'm going to book pro wrestling. Like, I kind of learned it when I went to excursion in America and in the UK.
Very, not only exciting excursion,
Right.
but it was a respectable
Right.
excursion. Jim Cornette has nothing good to say, or nothing but good things
Yeah.
to say about working with Baba.
Because the man apparently was just an absolute gentle giant. Really was. So that's the only reason I didn't pick Muda. Because
You're welcome to get me back with 3 whenever you
Oh,
like.
trust me, I will.
Yes, you will.
But because Muda is still young enough and still going so strong today, I hope to actually pick his brain one day.
Right.
But yeah,
Well, we'll have to work on getting him back because I know he's going to get me.
I'm gonna send you some names on Messenger.
I know Zach's going to try to get me because
Hey,
there's quite a few that he
I
could get me
said-
with, and I'd be like, I hate you.
I said the top 5 and now the table for 3 can be brought up any week. You just have to choose your victim. But you have to run the segment.
There we go.
I mean, I don't mind doing the top 5 because I come up with them pretty quick. Except for the best African wrestler about that. That took a
That was
week.
a tough
But
one.
you had a lot of fun going back and looking at that footage.
Man, reminding me why I love this. Why I love this so much.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Also, WWE, so we're going to get to them now. They had some decent pay-per-view style events coming up here. Did you watch Vengeance Day, Jesse?
Vengeance Day was great.
Leroy, the card, please.
Yes.
Elimination Chamber was meh.
Elimination Chamber had its moments.
I disagree with you on that one, but that's all right. That's
you want
what
to do Vengeance Day first, or you want to do Elimination Chamber?
Let's
Let's do
do-
Elimination Chamber.
Okay, so we'll do Elimination Chamber first.
Because we'll all be much happier talking about Vengeance
Fair
Day.
enough.
Okay, all right.
On the pre-show was Rey Mysterio versus Miz.
Mm-hmm.
This was good. I enjoyed this.
I thought it was fun.
Dominic is coming into his own as
Right.
being able to interact with the... Because,
Right.
Jesse, I think one of the hardest things to do in wrestling, interacting with the referee.
Yeah.
Making
Right.
them part of what you are
Right.
and what you were. And by the way, I've read a lot of what she said recently. While I am not mad, or while I'm a little disappointed that Tegan Knox is unable to feel that she was wanted there. Tegan, I don't believe it was anything personal. Your injuries just did not help you keep up in that women's division. It was too good for too quick and too long.
Yeah, I respect whatever she feels.
Yes.
But yeah, I kind of read that article and I'm like, Tegan, I think it was literally about the knee.
You're-
It was literally about the knees because it was almost like you couldn't stay healthy for more than 3 months.
And that was the thing, was that while Dakota eventually had an injury, not only was she able to reinvent herself
Right.
character-wise, but she's not gotten hurt since, knock on
Right.
wood for Dakota, because
Right.
I'm loving what she's doing right now with that talent. But no.
Tegan's going to do well wherever she goes, but it was literally about the injuries.
Tegan, there are moments in any sport where it's hard to get your shine when you're not able to be there,
Right.
and there's such a deep talent pool in the same
With
place.
Tegan, I've always felt they should have just kept her at NXT.
I agree.
UK.
No, I agree.
I know Paul saw so much more in her, but I'm like, I think she was better off at home.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think she was.
And I will say this, is that the other problem is that while we knew she could hang with a lot of the talent on the NXT women's roster, if you're not there week in and week out, that roster left you in the dust.
Right.
God, Jesse, was there arguably a better booked division in wrestling
No.
when they were at their peak?
No, not even close.
I just, oh, God.
What it was them, and then even the female exclusive promotions were far behind. Like
What else can you say?
what Triple H did with that women's division for all those years was insane.
And by the way, to all you haters out there, after Raw, they like Rhea. Relax.
Right.
Oh,
Rhea,
God, yeah.
Rhea was probably not long for that chamber when you realize
Right.
she went 44 minutes on Raw, which, by the way, has been confirmed as the longest women's match in the history of Monday Night Raw. And she was in it from start to motherfucking finish.
Yep.
They like Rhea Ripley. I'm not worried about. She's 25.
Right.
Oh,
Give
yeah.
her a little. And by the way, Jesse, to go back to Elimination Chamber, we'll get to the match. How do you argue with the star who won the women's Elimination Chamber? Well, but
They were always going to go back to that match.
which,
That's why
by the way, you owe me a little respect because I told you she was going to fix the SummerSlam issue, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
I gave that to you, though.
That's fair.
There
I
we
did
go.
give that to you.
That's fair. Leroy,
But
was
the
All right.
rest of this card does not get it. Go
Hey.
ahead, Leroy.
Hey, I know you really didn't like this, and I was shocked.
it's not that he didn't like it. It fell flat
Yeah, it just
at
fell
points.
flat to me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
fell
did.
flat. However, I will say this before we go on. American crowds, this is why they go to Saudi Arabia.
Right.
It's not just the
They
money.
literally cheered the whole time.
They
Oh, yeah, there was.
and
They
not to
were
mention
lit.
that, I'm sorry, Jesse, nothing against what she did in America. Lita was not going to get that reception.
She might have.
But it was so unique because she didn't think she
Right.
was worthy of it.
Right.
Mostly because I don't want to say worthy, but she didn't think it was going to be big because of where they were going.
Right.
But I think that the praise afterwards, Lita was like, okay, I was wrong. The political landscape is one thing, but we're here to. And by the way, to Jesse's point, not a lot of women were overly covered up in the audience as
No.
well. I mean, it seemed to be a very fun, entertaining
They're
event.
doing better. That's what I'll
They
give
are.
them.
They have a long way to go.
Hey, I'm glad they're having ladies over the
I will
wrestling.
only say this.
That's
to
what
get
I'm
it-
very happy
to get it
about.
out of the way, because I said to Leroy earlier, to the people that were saying they were oppressing the women's division by making them dress in bodysuits, you're the same fucking crowd that says they're sexualizing them when they're over here and they're in tight clothing.
Right.
Don't change your narrative just because of where it is,
Right,
okay?
right.
One way or another, you were going to be pissed. It's a cultural thing that whether we agree with it or not, like Jesse said, it's a lot. WWE would have been beheaded 10 years ago if they would have tried that.
Right.
But they were showing ankles. They had Ronda Rousey had bare feet
Mm-hmm.
in her match. Like, folks, progress is being made in places that time stopped 400 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, your narrative changed. Stop trying to be a fucking social justice person. You can't have it both ways. Also, to the women, I'm sure they were sweating like fucking deers in headlights because
It was
they're
80
not used to
degrees
that.
at night over there.
Yeah. And they had to be in full bodysuits.
80 degrees and they had to be in full bodysuits. That's
Yeah.
tough.
And
Yeah.
they were in a
And by the
concrete
way-
dome.
Yeah.
And by the way,
Oof.
we'll get to it when we get to the match.
well, in this case, it was an uncovered dome. They actually had the top open.
Yeah.
But-
yeah.
But yeah. Oh,
But Jesse,
man.
and
It's rough.
Jesse, before we even get to it, what a showing after being off for that long by Little Miss Bliss. But we'll get to that in a second.
She didn't miss a beat. But go ahead.
Go ahead, Leo.
All right. First match, I was surprised it started out, but it was Roman Reigns with Goldberg and Roman.
Arrive, smash him,
And
stack him,
he
pin
did.
'em, leave.
Well, he didn't pin him in this case. He just choked him the
He
fuck
choked him out. I don't
Which-
think that was a bad way to end it.
This was Goldberg needs to put over a guy. That's all this was.
And it worked.
Well, here's the thing. The only thing I cared about was that he choked out Goldberg. Leroy, you don't know how much joy that brought me.
I know it
I
would
knew
have
you were
brought
smiling
up.
for that.
Oh, I was supposed to be eating pizza, but I'm like, he's not letting go. He's on the ropes. He's gonna choke him. He's out. Goldberg's choked out. Yes. Thank you, God in heaven. I love you. Sometimes you are so blessed. Seeing Goldberg choked out. The only thing that would have made that better is if they showed his son in the crowd. Because then there would have been great joy for why you didn't get your silly ass in the ring against Bobby Lashley.
Well, hey, it was a 6-minute match, so that was around Goldberg's time,
Hey,
for that he should
Goldberg.
be.
He did.
Yeah.
He choked him out.
On a serious note, this accomplished what it was supposed to.
Right.
And
They
you
were
can't-
supposed to do this 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That's really what this
Yeah.
is about.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I'm
Glad
actually
to
glad
see
it
it.
happened now because, like you said, Jesse, it's adding to the aura of what is the best thing in wrestling.
Right. Go ahead, Leroy.
There we
Go
go. Next up was the ladies for Elimination Chamber match to find a opponent for the winner of the Raw Women's Championship later
Match
in
of
the
night,
show.
End of End
great.
of conversation for me.
Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Doudrop, Liv Morgan, Nikki ASH, Rhea Ripley with Bianca Belair, which we all picked to win. I did. I loved this match.
Match of the night.
It was great.
End of conversation. I'm sorry. They were fantastic from top to bottom. Every woman, surprisingly, and again, no offense to her, but surprisingly, Liv held her own.
You know what I was shocked by? That Alexa Bliss came out last. Here's why.
Yeah.
Because I was...
Well, they did that for the men's, too.
Which was... Because I'm like, well, in the past, the last two people to come out started the match.
Right.
Yeah.
So when she came out last, and all three of them
they had to get the
ring.
swing in there, so they had five.
Right.
They had five other women to get the swing ready.
By the way, made me laugh.
Oh, so good.
Because I'm like, she's walking around, and I'm like, man, she looks great. Like she looks in phenomenal shape.
Yeah.
Like the time off has done her wonders. And then as she's approaching her pod, I'm like, is there a swing in the pod?
See, and they could.
I was just about to say,
they could have had it in there before.
How many guys have ever sat down in the pod, and then I'm like, Alexa's got a fucking swing.
I'm like, I swear, if there's a Lily doll on the swing, I'm gonna lose it. I don't know if I'll be able to take the rest of this match seriously if there's a Lily doll in the damn thing.
Yeah, that kind of was going. Why is she coming in last? She should, and because that's what I thought too. I'm like, oh, she's gonna start it out. The only thing that I was kind of scratching my head too is because she was like the last one in there against Bianca.
Yeah.
I thought it was actually going to be
miss a step, by the way.
I thought it was going to be Rhea and Bianca at the end. Going for it. That's what I thought. Maybe.
Here's what I like about
they've already done that 2-3 times.
I'll say this. Here's what I like about that. I think that's Vince reminding you at any time.
These two are going to put on a banger.
With Alexa Bliss, at any time I could go right back to this that was insanely successful when you guys didn't think it was going to be. When I made her SmackDown Women's Champion. She was the first champion even before the Four Horsewomen.
She had no internet belief in her at all.
And it was a reminder like, oh shit, she actually could win. She's an 8-time women's champion. She could literally win this thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, no, it was I agree.
One of the
this
few
was the
women
best
that
match of the night.
One of the few women that arguably when she went from NXT to the main roster just took the ball, and she's 1,000 times more successful on the main roster than she was in NXT.
To me, one of the funniest things in this fucking match was Nikki thinking she was going to run away from Rhea. That shit cracked me up. I'm like, wait a minute. No more than 2 minutes ago, you were just talking the hottest shit in the world.
That's because the pod was locked.
Because she was behind glass.
As soon as Rhea came out, she was like, oh, I want none of this smoke anymore.
No. Nikki played that
She
part
played it
great.
great.
She played that amazing.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Oh, God.
Well, after that one, it was the... what else you got to add?
Congrats, Bianca. It's going to be great.
Bianca, yeah.
She's going to get her championship back, baby.
The internet was kind of like, oh, really, Bianca? I'm like, what more needs to happen? She's a star. Let her be a star.
Since SummerSlam, you knew what they were going for.
Oh, yeah.
So anyone who was complaining that Bianca won, I'm like, they've told this story for like 7 months now. Even if you don't like how the story's gone, she was clearly going to get the championship back from Becky at Mania. So...
Yep. And by the way, she proved last year at Mania. Put her on opening match, main event of whatever
She's
night.
a superstar.
Skin color be damned. Bianca Belair is a star. Everyone knows it.
Like I've said, it's the one that it's one of the ones they can be truly proud of recently.
And she's also Jessie.
Because remember, even Triple H didn't make her NXT.
No.
She lost both of her title shots.
Yep. But by the way, she is also. It's infectious when you watch her. She genuinely is enjoying what she's doing. She has this infectious personality. She's this torchbearer for not just young athletes in general.
Right.
This young lady, I don't think realizes
garden veggie seasonable sensible portions sponsor us, you cheap bastards.
Please
continue.
They're
Jesse,
not cheap. Well, no, they're
Jesse,
not. They don't cost too much to buy.
Jesse, this lady may or may not ever realize how much is on her shoulders. What she carries.
Right.
She can carry it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
The weight's not too much.
Oh no.
But she is a star going forward, and
yes.
nobody. And you know what's?
And I want people to think about this. She beats Becky.
Yep.
Say she loses at SummerSlam this time to Charlotte. She beats Charlotte.
Yep.
Guess what? She's beaten all 4 of the horsewomen. The
Yeah.
only other wrestler to do that, Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
There's a reason Alexa Bliss still feels like a star.
Yeah. Yeah, because she can legitimately walk out there and say, I have wins against this, that, the other, and the fourth.
She could do the old Triple H adage, I've literally beaten them all.
Yep. Yep.
And how Bianca is over with a lot of people. Clara.
Oh, yeah.
Clara was so... I'm like, Clara, look, who won?
If
And
any
Clara
crowd-
was so excited.
If any crowd was going to be thought of as, okay, what's the reaction going to be? It would have been that crowd.
Right.
They just love wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is why they get shows like this because they're not trying to be the show.
Right.
They're not trying to take. Look, Izod Center was a special night, but now y'all want to do it. Now y'all want to be that show,
Right.
and I don't freaking blame any company for not wanting this to be a thing. And what bothers me even more is that, okay, y'all say you're fans of pro wrestling, which means it encompasses all these companies. You don't do it at MAW shows. You don't do it at Ring of Honor shows. Why are you doing it here?
Right.
Maybe, just maybe, if the crowd goes back to being engaged, maybe your favorite superstar doesn't get cut at the end of a 3-month window.
Right.
Maybe budget cuts don't come to your favorite star
Right.
if you actually do, I don't know, react to them.
There
Hard
you
to
go.
believe that's what wrestling's all about, reactions.
All right. Well, the next match was a tag team match with Ronda and Naomi against Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville with a special stipulation where Ronda Rousey had to wrestle with one arm.
Step up knee
tying behind her back.
on Sonya. I'm like,
I
oh, this bitch fucking gonna kill
Well,
us.
I just
Go ahead.
her experience with that. I'm like, one ham time. He said, "Did y'all forget she has 2 legs? She gonna kick your ass with 2 legs. She's a badass woman."
6-time judo black belt.
And what she came out with, and Eben was like, "Oh, crap!" I'm like, "No, that's not karate. That's judo.
Yeah.
She knows how to do judo."
Bronze medalist.
Let me say this. It's not, like I said, I know Mark is from the PWL, and I'm going to start naming some of you guys from the sites who like to tell me how much you love shot, and I have no problem with it.
Yeah.
You might want to slow up on the work and stiff stuff.
Yeah.
Because Ronda isn't Brock, who kind of gave Braun a little bit of a shot and told him to slow down.
Oh, yeah.
Ronda doesn't know how to control her anger.
No.
You will get clearly knocked the fuck out.
Yep. Yep.
That is totally
and
true.
by the way, Sonya, no one's taken away from the fact that you were a legit MMA fighter when this whole thing started. You weren't Ronda Rousey.
You were in that league.
No.
No.
Which is why I know people were like, why don't Ronda, or why doesn't Sonya and Shayna have it? I'm like, no. That was a different level of MMA fighters. Was Shayna and Ronda.
Shayna right now is arguably one of the most dangerous women on the planet.
I think she is the most
She might
dangerous
be the
woman
most
on the
dangerous
planet.
woman on the planet is Shayna Baszler in a shoot. But this was actually good.
Yeah, I did enjoy it, yes.
Ronda seems to be getting over. You know, a lot of credit to Ronda for giving Naomi a lot of credit and shine. I think that Ronda saw Naomi knows what she's doing, is good at what she does.
Right.
One of those matches where, once again, a young, dark-skinned black woman shows up. That crowd lost their ever-loving mind.
Here's the thing, though. Naomi is also a former 2-time SmackDown Women's Champion.
Why do we feel like? Why does
And
it feel
feels like
we
people
keep
forget
ignoring
that all the time.
Why do we get? Michael Cole
She
reminds
was
us.
champion for a year.
Michael Cole reminds us
remind us.
every week.
And they do
But
remind
we
us.
always seem to have this weird feeling of we forget that the woman was actually a 2-time SmackDown Women's Champion.
Headlining champion. Headlined a pay-per-view once, a middle pay-per-view, but headlined.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, why do we seem to keep forgetting this about how great Naomi is?
Now, I have a question for you, Jesse, if I may.
Better than her husband. Go ahead.
Well, yeah.
Down since alcohol-ish. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh,
Anyway,
damn.
Jesse, it's a legit question, I
Okay.
think, because people made it a big deal when the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air had their reunion.
Right.
Is there a ceiling to Naomi being a dark-skinned African-American woman to Bianca?
No. I literally think it's just about timing and opportunities.
Okay.
So she's taken the story with Sonya. She's run with it. And like I told people, I'm like, it's weird to me because it feels like we have forgotten how good she is.
Yeah.
Like, and I get, like, she took that long time off.
She's still maybe the most athletic woman in the company.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, as my cousin will tell people, the two black women, three of the black women in WWE might be the most athletic wrestlers in the company. Who fucking knew?
Well, but remember what I said. I said when you did your top 5 and when we did our show a year ago. One thing that was never questioned in wrestling was the African American wrestlers were always going to be able to athletically keep up. That was never an issue.
And yet again, when she came out, what happened? My little girl went nuts because she saw the glow. She stands up and just
and
she always stands up and is dancing
and
with it the whole that. So I love it.
Bianca and Naomi is they also cross color barriers, so girls in general can just relate to them.
Oh yeah.
My little girl looks up to Naomi. She looks up to Bianca. She looks up to the Boss. She loves Charlotte too.
Yeah.
But that's her favorite.
They're also all 3, and this is just
great.
rare in humanity.
By the way,
these
speaking
days.
of someone who was in a carrying cross position, man, it did not look like Sonya belonged in this match at all.
No.
Yeah,
She's really good, but I'm like, man, it does not look like she belongs in this ring with these 3 women.
It was bad. but no, I'll say this. Also, one thing that I think deserves to be mentioned about Bianca, Sasha, and Naomi, just wonderful people as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely great personalities as well. But no, Ronda, stiff, but seems like she's getting over her shyness.
Like I said, that seems to be like Charlotte's style now, that she wants to work stiffer, which I'm just like, I just remember, this ain't Brock.
Yeah.
Brock can control his anger in a ring. Ronda does not do so very well.
No.
She will light your shit up. You'll be knocked out. They'll be like, Ronda, you got a pin her. She's out.
And the other thing, and the other thing about it is that the other thing that Brock has understood for over 20 years is that he doesn't want this. He doesn't need this.
Right.
This is how he affords to sit on the farm, basically.
There we go.
Loves so
with
much.
his beautiful wife.
Yes.
All right. Well, the next
And
match.
his kids. The kids are there too.
Oh yes. Well, no, his daughter. Well, his daughter isn't.
His
She's
daughter's
in
in
college.
college.
She's in college.
She's gonna be a beast in college.
All right. Well, the next one, this lovely Falls Count Anywhere with Drew Madcap with one of the spots that
He's
happened
already dead.
that almost
He should have died.
he should have died. Oh my lord!
The football background is the only reason that man is still walking.
Number 1, this is the worst theme music in pro wrestling.
I know.
This is terrible.
Madcap's
It's
his
bad.
coming in, but Drew did beat Madcap because he dropped him on his frickin' head.
By the way,
What
Corbin,
What
good
happened?
job on your timing because you almost got your head taken clean off.
See now with that spot, what happened for him to land there? Who was it? What was it a miss?
Supposed to put his hands out.
Also,
Okay, it was his slight mistake
yes.
on that.
Also,
okay, all right.
when you
I was
fall-
looking at it.
Leroy, when you
Yeah.
fall backwards, tuck your chin. When you fall forwards,
Lift your head.
lift your head up.
Okay.
Put your arms out, 'cause
Yeah.
then your chest is going to take most of that brunt.
Yeah.
And you just sell it like your face took it.
Yeah.
So, but he went literally head first. I blame WWE. Here's why I blame WWE.
Okay.
This is one time you could pause the match. Don't let that one continue.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Bring out a doctor. Hey, are you good?
Yeah.
Because
I
they
was-
basically let the ref check on him, and he said, "I'm okay."
Adrenaline's a scary thing in situations like
I
that.
played football. Sometimes with a concussion, you don't feel it with all that adrenaline.
Yeah.
It's after the game, and your body starts to
And
cool down, and you're like,
Reports were-
whoa.
I haven't heard any news or
The
anything like that,
news
so nothing yet.
News
so.
was he was checked out, I believe, somewhere after the following match, so the adrenaline had time
Right.
to wane. Doctors have cleared that he's okay.
Right.
WWE, the way they work, will probably hold him.
They're going to hold him out.
They're gonna hold it, and
he
I
won't
don't
be back
blame
till probably
him.
after Mania.
He won't wrestle after Mania, but he might be involved in it.
I don't
It's
think
his
he'll.
stuff.
I don't think he'll be involved in that match because I think what they'll do is they'll use that to probably write him off.
Well, they'll find a way to have Drew get rid of him in a
Right.
safe way.
Right.
I don't blame Drew.
No, that he's a wrestler. You gotta understand. It's the heat of the battle.
Yeah.
You gotta doing your spots, but you gotta lift your head and put your arms
Yep.
out. You do not want to take. By the way, kids, if you want to be a pro wrestler, don't take that move.
Don't.
I watched that a few times to see. It's like, did Drew do something
I showed it
slightly
to
off,
Allison.
whatever? And I'm like, oh.
All Allison saw was the picture, and she was like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, he's
Watching it live was bad.
Corey's reaction let me know. I'm like, oh, throw up the X. Let him get you. Because Corey was like, it was almost like, should they stop the match? Like,
They should have.
that was horrible.
Yeah.
I honestly thought they were going to stop the
by
match
the
at
way.
that. Oh my god.
Oh, by the way, AEW, you didn't do it. They didn't do
Right.
it. It's a wash. Shut up.
By the way,
Shut up.
they've done it more though. They've actually called the X more than AEW has when they've needed to.
Matt Hardy, the Murder Hawk.
I'm saying WWE's called the
No,
X
no,
more.
no,
Yes.
no, that's what I'm saying. Matt Hardy.
They're being safer.
Lance Archer.
Why is he even? That's a different subject for a different time. That's because if I start talking about Lance Archer, I'm gonna get pissed off.
That's next week. When your voice is back and you don't have a headache next
Right,
week,
right.
we're going to have to delve into Jesse, Lance Archer, from the end of the G1 till now.
Right.
Leroy, get the crickets ready. Anyway.
There was so much kindness in the room a moment ago.
I know.
was.
I
All
said
right.
I got to get that new board so I can
Yep.
have fun with that. All right. Yeah, it's not a cheap board,
No,
but it's definitely worth it because I'm going to have your good quote on there too.
Yep.
you are like a ninja.
She is like a ninja.
All right.
And she loved herself and Bianca, right? And Naomi
She is awesome.
Yep.
and the boss. She does have a boss action figure too. I got her the
Fantastic.
boss.
That's awesome.
She got that up grandma. She can play with all
By
the
the
other
way,
ones up there.
Because speaking of about her absence recently,
No,
Yeah.
well, she's
she
healing.
just takes a lot of time off now.
Why not?
Well, but Jesse, to your point, in WWE when it happens.
By the way, Bailey apparently was on the bump
She was.
before the pay-per-view
she
Yes.
and seems to be insanely healthy.
was. Yes.
So
She's good.
we'll see what happens for Mania.
Pam,
and-
come back.
And she's looking good too. Oof. All right, next one we
Always
had.
better with longer hair. She was.
Yeah.
Oh yes, the longer hair is. I'm not going to get
Though the
into
Karen hair made me laugh.
It
Not-
did.
all there.
It
Not-
did. The
not-
tattoo on the back of the neck too also
It was
was.
great.
Oh,
that. Not going to get into my long hair thing. I'm not.
different podcast.
Yes, and maybe a psychiatrist. Well, maybe not. Just
Next match, Leroy.
just a therapist.
Shut up, Leroy.
So we got a long hair. We got Becky Lynch, and we got Love My Girl Lita. I know you love her.
Speaking of
This took a minute to get going.
speaking
it
about
took a little bit.
true, but here's the deal. You give Bliss credit for not Lita somehow.
Lita got it. Oh, I love
I
Lita.
believed it for a
By
minute.
the way, Becky, I get it. You like to call your matches in the thing, but you also have to remember that if they're not cheering the whole time,
Yeah.
those mics pick it up.
Yeah, that
I know,
was
I
so
heard
she
bad.
that.
kept fucking calling her
Yep,
shots,
yep.
and I'm like, well, now I know the match.
I know.
Becky.
Yeah, the most glaring one was when she got flipped over the top rope.
I heard that a few times. I was like, what?
All right,
Did
go
I
ahead and
just
reverse
hear
and hit me. Becky, I can hear
Yeah,
you.
Yep.
Yeah.
There is an art to calling it in the ring,
Yeah,
sweetheart.
yeah.
You know better.
Yeah.
Yep, so Becky did retain over our
Right,
girl
right,
Lita,
right.
This,
but Lita
this-
got some great love,
I
as
say
she said,
this.
from them.
I say this a lot. Once again, this match had no business being as good as it was. And by the way, Lita, they let her hit everything, and
Yeah.
she hit it flush. I'm like,
When she hit the moonsault, I legitimately.
I thought they were going to take it off Becky.
Oh, so did I.
legitimately
Even if it
like-
was a 1 week bait and switch, I thought they were going to do it.
I legitimately was like, oh shit, Lita's gonna. This is gonna be a triple threat. Oh, she kicked it. Okay.
Okay, all right, we're good, we're good.
Yeah, that was the
But Lita,
third longest match besides the Elimination
Yeah,
Chamber.
I'm not gonna lie, and I know this is a negative nitpick criticism. It felt like it.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
felt, like the start of the match took a while to get going.
Yeah, it's like I feel like they tried to milk the feeling out process a
Right.
little more than they needed to.
Right.
You really don't need that.
And it got to be a little too much.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, I thought the end was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like if I rated it out of 5, I would have gave it a 2.5. Because like I said, it took between that and Becky calling almost every freaking spot.
Yes.
Because that almost took me out the match. So I'm like, Becky, we can hear you.
Yeah, I know.
Why doesn't the ref go, Becky? They can hear you.
Yeah.
They probably will tell her afterwards, hey, or if she watches
sure
it
Vince is
back.
like,
She'll
"For
go-
fuck's sake, they can hear you. You gotta."
she'll go back. She'll go back. She'll watch the tape, and she'll
Hey,
definitely.
bro, if you know your match is after Roman, call the match quietly.
Yes.
Because you know those mics are turned up for Roman because he talks his smack.
Yes.
So, like, yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure.
And right now, Roman can literally, and I don't think anyone's going to question me, he can do no wrong in professional wrestling.
No.
Yeah, if you're gonna call it, I mean, be right next to her face and whisper into her ear.
I'm going to smash Goldberg.
Which, by the way, she did when she said thank you when she put her hair over her hair at the end. I'm like, you couldn't find a way to do that during the match?
Right.
That's what you gotta do. All right.
Bex, Rebecca, take some notes from your husband there.
Yes.
Whew.
She knows better.
I know she does.
Yeah,
the adrenaline got a little bit carried away.
She'll carry it. She'll fix that. All right.
All right.
The next one, unfortunately, ended in no contest tag team match for the SmackDown where Usos came out and beat down the Viking Raiders.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Leroy. I have no problem with them moving this to Mania.
I agree.
Then don't put it on the card.
Yeah.
That's true.
No, I agree.
Not necessary to do
Why
that.
are you literally flying the Viking Raiders out to get their butts embarrassed real quick?
The paycheck?
Just save the money. Now, I'm sure they don't mind it. It's like I said, they get
They
a
got
bonus for
paid.
these shows.
By the way, during this beatdown, I thought to myself, quick question, where the hell are the internet stands for War Machine?
I know.
They used to be one of the top tag teams in Ring of Honor. They were the best tag team in the world at one point before the Good Brothers came over to America.
Right.
They were the best tag team on this continent.
Right.
Where y'all at for these boys? Huh?
By the way, I think they are going to beat the Usos at Mania. But it's just one of those things. I
would have preferred take them out on SmackDown
Right.
and say they missed the flight.
Right.
If you want to pay them to go over for the party and the flight, do it. I don't care.
Because then you made the show a 3-hour show when it didn't need to be a 3-hour show.
Right.
Because people forget the night before they actually
And it's
do
not
like a little stuff.
and it's not like we would have sat there and been like, well, then why are the Usos? We saw the Usos on the show. They got paid for the show. Opening match.
I mean, they laughed because
Yeah.
you know Roman wanted to be.
But my point is that no, the only change I would have made is take them out on SmackDown.
I agree. You're not getting any arguments from me on that. Like I said,
you have no problem with it being a Mania moment.
No. To me, this was the biggest issue I had. I'm like, this was a waste.
No. And I 100% agree. It was
because they literally played the Taker footage after this.
Right.
I'm like, you could have just put the footage there and then let it run into the main event.
Yeah.
Like no one, it wouldn't.
Yeah, that would have worked.
That crowd still went crazy because they showed the footage on the big screen.
Now, before we get to the main event,
all right,
I want to say this.
That's the last one we got. Yeah.
Before we say this, Jesse, I said this about the last one, because now Super Showdown is now Elimination Chamber, so it's Crown Jewel is the other one.
Right.
I think Saudi is now saying, give me what you have now, make me part of your season, and they're happy.
Right.
He doesn't want DX versus the Brothers of Destruction. He doesn't want Goldberg and Taker and all.
I think a part of that, so apparently, remember, there was a renegotiation of the deal. I think a part of that was probably Vince like, listen, I think your fans do know what's going on currently.
Yeah.
Because they do play the shows on, I think, the nationally syndicated TV out there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, if they know what's going on, why don't we just do... By the way, because now the last two papers haven't been bad.
No.
Because they're not trying to just promote all these legends. They're not like...
And after this show, we can now safely say Mansoor is now a 96 because he wasn't on this show. He's now a 96 in Saudi.
Nah, he's a 90.
He's a 90 in Saudi?
Because if he shows up to the next Saudi show and he just wins again, I got to bump it back up 5.
That's fair.
So he didn't make this one.
Yeah. When I get the game in a couple weeks, I'll let you know what he's at.
I can tell you what he's at. He's at 77.
He's a 77.
77? Oh, okay.
He's a 77.
You know what's sad, though? I love Mansoor.
He's great.
He's great.
He's phenomenal.
Like the tag team stuff with Ali. By the way, Ali, just listen.
Shut up.
No, it's because he's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong.
But here's the thing.
But if they're offering you something to do, bro,
just go work out your contract.
Yeah.
Just if you come back and do the next 7 months, I bet you'll get your release.
Yep.
Because they'll realize, like, oh, we really are doing nothing with them. Because right now, are they being petty? Yes.
Yes.
Just go back.
But the problem is like I said, I'm sick and tired of not holding everyone accountable in a situation.
I'm with you.
Here's the deal. Are they being petty? 100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could you also maybe be handling this a little bit better?
Yes.
Yes.
Saying
yes.
I'll see you all in 2.5 years, bro. Be an adult. Don't hit send. Ask for a meeting with fucking whoever, and just talk to him.
Go meet with
There
go
we
meet
go.
with Triple H and then be like, can you talk to your damn fucking father and fall? And then that way, like, as soon as you get back out, even if you're jobbing out, Vince will be like, well, I'm not using the guy. You guys can go ahead and release him. And you'll get your release.
And by the way, I don't think, because Vince is very sensitive to this stuff nowadays, if you guys got into an argument, again, adults, you couldn't handle this in a civil. Did Vince ask you to go against your entire culture?
I don't think he did.
I doubt he'd do that now.
No.
Like
Yeah,
we
he
said,
did.
everyone was like, "Oh, the cancer thing's fake." Vince ain't dumb enough to make that call in 2018.
Right.
No.
Fuck that. But it's just no. Is he correct? Yes. Is he also being petty?
Yes.
Also yes. Be an adult. Call someone.
Work it out.
Figure it out.
And then go. Trust me, when they realize they're not using you anyway, he'll let you go.
But if you get but if you get petty, here's the deal. Don't ever get
Because
petty.
here's the thing, he's still going to get paid.
Yeah.
But it's
I
just
know.
like, just go. There's nothing wrong with then going, getting jobbed out after you resolve that. And then,
There's also, and by the way, folks,
because then you actually might get your release a
yeah,
whole lot
exactly.
quicker.
And by the way, don't ever get petty against someone who holds all the cards.
That
Sorry.
is true.
They
That is
do.
true.
But now we move on to
It's the men's Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship.
which, by the way, apparently, Jesse, we have finally cracked the code. What Vince was saying under all those mumbles were, "I'm gonna kill you using Brock Lesnar."
Yeah, Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, Austin Theory, Riddle, Seth freaking Rollins.
Leroy, I have a question.
We're gonna
Bobby
kill
Lashley,
ya.
if people are saying Bobby, legitimate injury, he got taken out. They did a
This might be
buckle
why
bomb
Brock likes to
thing
work
through
with
the
smaller
cage.
guys.
Right,
This might be
right.
why Brock likes to work with the smaller guys, because he can toss them and control them a little better
Right.
than Bobby. Because Bobby was coming down that shoulder a lot.
Yeah,
Here's the
and
thing. I have a question for you.
okay,
When Evan becomes a full teenage boy, and you know, sometimes as teenage boys, I was a bit of a pain in the ass, but my mom always told me my sisters were worse. But she's like, you were a pain in the ass, but at least, you know, she's like, I'd slap you, maybe elbow you in the face, you would stop.
yeah,
She's
my sister. There was 2 boys and 1 girl. My sister was in the middle. Yeah, she was more of a pain in the ass to my mom than me and my brother.
So, but if you had, you know, $1 billion, a wrestling company, would you send that fucking monster to deal with your boy the way that Austin Theory got handled?
No, that
You want to talk about earning your stripes, kid? That's earning some fucking
I would
cuts.
think he would have to be WWE champion after that at some point.
Can I also
right?
point something out? If this was the old chamber, he'd be dead. He'd be dead.
By the way,
yes.
because there's no padding in the
There
old
was no
chamber,
chamber.
No.
which is why I prefer that old chamber.
Yes.
Listen,
Oh, Lord.
You know, I thought it was very. You know, after they did say Brock went a little off script because he punched a glass and it broke. So he was going to punch it, but he didn't know it was going to break. Then I
To
think
be fair, though, the fans
then I think
probably
they said
would've gotten
get him
bored.
out,
To be
and so
fair,
he
though,
went
the,
out.
the fans probably would have gotten bored if he would have sat there for another 5 minutes. So you know
Yeah.
what? It's one of those off-script things. Because like I said, at DPW1, Paul and I talked about this at Heart of a Warrior. He was going to come out to no music anyway. He's the problem. It would have fit.
right.
So kudos to Brock for making the people think it was a work when in reality it was an accident.
Well, he fucked up, and then he looked at
Yes.
Jessica. Jessica kind of did this, said something to him. I think he was just like, Vince said, just get the
And
hell
by
out.
the way, I get Jim Cornette's concerns about female referees in certain spots. Not with her.
No,
Fine.
She commands authority that very few of the male refs get. She's big enough to hang
Right.
with a lot of them.
She does an absolutely wonderful job.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. She plays her part
Right.
so well.
Right.
but
Aubrey, that's how you get. I'm not gonna do that.
I
To be-
thought it was okay.
I'm gonna let you finish in just
okay.
a second. I'm sorry. To be fair to Aubrey, it only is done to her in box matches.
That's fair.
Where she's just disrespected But they want to promote that she's the head referee, the first female head referee in a major company.
Stick with your corpse referee, Rick Knox. No one cares about him anyway.
Leroy, go ahead.
As I was saying, too, I enjoyed it when Brock came out and just ripped through everybody. And then Austin Theory being the last one, realizing he was in the last one. And you could see that in his face.
Austin, my boy.
We need to check his underwear because he had to say, "Oh shit!"
Oh,
and then
there's no way out.
And he tried. He was trying. He was halfway out, up at the top.
Jesse, better. Oh shit! Moment. Nikki or Austin?
Oh, it's Austin. Here's what I'll say.
Yes.
This match was actually a really down match for me until the end, and I'll explain why.
Yeah.
Because the moment most of them were getting in, the Bobby thing happens. I'm like, oh no, they're doing the Shayna thing.
Yep.
Brock's going to fucking eliminate everybody. Which I actually think was kind of called on the fly, probably before the show.
Yeah.
Well, it goes by our name, you know.
Here, right, 13 Card Subject to Change. At Twitter, at YouTube, on Facebook. Just find us.
We now have 69 people on YouTube.
God,
there's now almost 300 of you on the Facebook. So feel free to go to the YouTube.
YouTube don't cost you a dime.
See,
I will be.
I do like that number, but I like 100 better.
Nice.
I would like 300 a whole lot more.
I'd like 1,000.
Yes, I would too.
Say your sights high, kids. But back to your point.
So here's the thing. Because, he's kind of going through everybody. I'm like, oh, not this shit. Like, Brock was doing so good, and now we're going back to old Brock, and I don't like it. But then we get to the Austin Theory moment. Austin murdered me. So as he realizes he's the last one, he literally, it's funny because at first he looks at Brock. He looks at the ref. Uh-oh.
What? Okay, we'll keep going.
So he looks at Brock. He looks at the ref. He looks at Brock. And he, for people who don't, because he's like, wait, what did he just yell at Brock? He said, Brock, I'll lay down.
And I don't blame him for doing that at all.
He's like, Brock, you don't have to do this. I'll lay down. And Brock just shook his head. He's like, Brock, you don't have to do this. I will lay down. And then when he realized he wasn't going to accept the lay down pin, he tried to run, which, of course, Brock's a monster and caught up to him.
Well, in the chamber, he just slammed him in there. Oh, God.
I thought what was awesome was also the fact that he actually almost got his thick ass out the top of the...
He did.
That was... But I was also like, hey, Austin...
Because no one's ever gotten that close to getting out of that like that.
The other thing about it is Austin, here's the deal. Adrenaline's running. Craziness is happening. You're on live television. Brock could have just thrown you off the top of the damn thing. Maybe you're safer inside.
But the funniest thing was, he did the low blow spot all the small guys do at Brock.
Yeah.
Does the drop kick. And because this is what I was like, there's the inexperience. He goes for the pin after the drop kick.
Yeah.
So when Brock kicks out at 1.5, he seems shocked.
Yeah.
But then Brock smartly kind of starts to sell. Well, now you've pissed me off.
Yep.
When he was on top of that, on the chamber, I was going, oh, my God, he's going to kill him. I thought he was going to throw him off. And then I was like, oh, he just F5'd him. And I looked at Evan and I said, you know what they're saying there? Holy shit.
I just want everyone to understand how bright the future in WWE is right now. Austin Theory, 25. You possibly get Cody in there, and you possibly get MJF in a 1.5 years.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Well, but Jim Cornette did say long ago,
the
main event for WrestleMania 42 is currently on AEW Dynamite. Which, by the way,
it could be.
Jesse, as much as you disagree with Jim, you have to be honest though. WWE kind of quote unquote for about 3 months there was handing them the victory in this war.
They really were.
They were like, take everyone. And by the way, you just now got Buddy Matthews.
Right.
It took you how many months to get arguably the best kept secret in wrestling? That's on you, not
there
folks.
we go.
Apparently they signed him, but they didn't have a story for him for 5 months.
You bring him in, you have him work with fucking underneath talent. The guy's going to put on a banger no matter what.
There we go. But I did like how Austin, when he took the F5, that he landed the spot nicely.
Right.
So he was not hurt and everything and I'm sure
Brock told him, like, hey, listen, the way I'm going to toss you, you should be able to kind of catch yourself as you go down.
And I did see that, and I was like, okay, good.
But it just looked horrible.
Did.
I'm like, Brock, don't do this. And I don't ever root for Austin there, but I'm like, Brock, don't do this to the kid. Don't kill him on one of his first big pay-per-view moments.
He
don't
almost
do it,
did.
Brock. I know he lowballs you, but don't kill the kid.
and I did like after he pinned him, he grabbed him and was pretending to take this camera.
I'm like, okay, Brock's in on
That
this.
was good.
They told Brock, like, dude, just keep doing it because it's he just did it again. I'm like, that's
The okay, so Brock wins WWE title.
Right.
Before we get to the criticism of that, the walkout. Brock Lesnar is having more fun right now than he's ever had in his motherfucking life.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if he's over the anxiety that he talked about on the Pat McAfee show, but he's just enjoying this shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The posing for selfies, the doing it more than
Right.
once. And by the way, folks, Brock doesn't like to get touched. And they were just slapping him on
Yeah, he was high-fiving fans, and I'm like, that's odd.
Oh, seeing him is like, this.
Like having a good time with the fans. Like
he was having fun.
But again, a crowd that was cheering the way they were supposed to, they kind of just sat back and realized, okay, we know it's a work, but we're here for entertainment.
Right.
Let's be entertained.
Right.
Let's be entertained. Are you not entertained, America?
There we go. I was looking forward to Mania. I mean, right now, the 3 title matches we got
I feel bad for Bobby, but I am
Becky-
looking forward to Mania.
Becky.
Injuries happen.
Well, yeah, Becky, Bianca Belair.
I don't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah.
They should have just done the triple threat.
I agree.
Champion, Brock, champion. No problem with it.
Yeah.
Because you're going to crown Roman anyway double champion for a short time. Just do the triple threat.
Yep. I don't think they're going away
Because
from
Bobby's the only challenger now besides Big E that he actively avoided.
Right. Now, I don't think they're going to go to the one belt thing again. I think they like the 2 championships. But I think that, like you said, to make him a champ for just a month till the next pay-per-view,
Right.
nothing wrong with it.
Right.
And if he loses the WWE title,
He starts to now lose some of that luster.
he loses the luster, but he gets to stay
Universal
champion.
And it'll be Seth. It'll
Yeah.
be Seth.
Yeah.
I'm calling it. It'll be Seth. It'll be him and Seth at Backlash. Seth will beat him.
Now, Jesse, is he not doing the best work of his goddamn career?
It's not even close.
It's just, was there ever a time that he was bigger in the scene? Ever?
By the way, I'm also happy that Seth and Riddle seem to have squashed whatever.
Well, no, it's interesting because Allison looked that up. Turns out, and I don't know if we talked about this in the show before, but turns out Riddle actually went to Seth, apologized for what his wife said, apologized to Becky, and Seth even said, "Wow, I didn't really expect that." So really, I think that Seth would be a professional no matter what,
Right.
but I think that Seth being who he is,
And clearly, whatever happened between Matt and Brock is done. Because they were having some fun interactions when Brock was in the pod. So
yeah,
people didn't catch it, but I did. So the first time, as he's kind of doing his go around, imitating Randy.
I think people are starting to get with how hard he's actually putting into work.
Right.
Riddle has said some dumb things,
but
he's able to acknowledge it.
So it was super
saying
funny
some
'cause
dumb things.
He goes. The first time he goes to Riddle's, the Brock Singh, he goes, "Hey, I'm gonna RKO him. I'm going to get rid of those 2 and I'll wait for you." Which, of course, doesn't get done. When the countdown starts, he looks at Brock, and Brock's like, "Oh, I'm about to finally whoop that ass. I've been waiting to whoop your ass for a while, so I'm about to finally whoop that ass."
I did like when Austin Theory with the camera with Riddle, and Riddle's like, yeah.
The other thing that
he's like, "I'm going to beat him, too."
The other thing that I have to say, though, is that while, again, we question why Brock was in the chamber, yada, yada. Let's just deal with it for now. The thing that I want to point out, though, is if this is where we're at, Brock has to win because Brock has to continue with the fact that he is unstoppable other than maybe Roman. So I hate that people... So I'm not a fan that we have a champ match, but... If it's going to be anybody, it's going to be Brock.
It was always going to be.
Yeah.
It was going to be Brock versus Roman champ.
We got 40 days to
WrestleMania.
Nitpick.
We do.
And
we got 4 more shows before we got to do 3 in a row. If we can't. We can't. It is what it is.
Oh, no. I got to remember. I got to go take time off at work. Got to take that Saturday off.
So, listen, out of 5, I still give the show a 3. I think it was a good show. Could have been better. Like I said, the whole thing with Bobby, the injury, sure, but even before the injury at the Royal Rumble, my whole thought was, okay, so are we just going to do Brock versus Roman straight up?
Yeah.
Because otherwise,
either way it would have been
you could
good.
literally just, since he's champion now, you could literally just add Bobby to that match.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then trust me, more people would have been like, dude, and
We
triple
wish
threat between these 3 big guys.
Yeah.
and.
We wish Bobby the best. We're sorry
Right.
that he can't capitalize on what was a great year.
Right.
But Bobby will be back and we'll be just fine. I mean, Bobby's easily got mystique to build on.
Oh yeah.
What if Cody debuts against Brock at Mania?
No.
And then like hits him and Roman with the Crossroads, and then his wife comes out.
Well,
and then-
reportedly, Brandy's not going to WWE.
I know. I'm just pissing people off right now.
Which
And
we
then,
all
so his
hope
wife
is the
comes out.
case.
I really hope so.
Hey, Jesse, her and Tessa should just be a stable over in Women of Wrestling.
Oh.
I want it to go under, yes.
Oh, jeez.
But on the plus side, we don't have to listen to any more Brandy Rhodes segments on AEW Dynamite. Might make the show a little better. Got a
Oh.
long way to go, folks, but although to be fair, Brandy was adding maybe 100,000 when she was doing nothing. Because,
Probably.
Anyway, but no, you know what? It's true. I have to say it. Name a more attractive woman you want to see no more of on television. I don't think there's one other than Brandy Rhodes.
Well, I can see her on television. She just has to keep her mouth shut.
To be honest, I can't believe I'm going to say this. Oh, my God. I'm going to get a lot of heat.
All right.
Oh.
To be honest, it would be nice not to see Maria Kanellis anymore.
Well,
No.
yeah, it's more so for the stuff that she's said off camera than what she's done on the show, although the stuff on the show is the same shit she was doing when they were in the original Ring of Honor.
Because, I mean, she's a good promo. Which,
Yeah.
by the way, when the first time she got fired from WWE, I was shocked.
Yeah, fair.
When I saw her kind of promo against, like, Bullet Club, I was like, when did she learn this? She couldn't speak in WWE for anything. And then I'm like, well, maybe that's not fair. Maybe they had her play a mousy character. But now let's get to the good stuff.
Before we get to that, the breaking news that I've just discovered on my phone.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Jesse, your former best bout machine has spoken again.
Oh, no, not Kenny.
Kenny Omega has announced through Fightful.com that the AEW console game will allow for the ability to defend the belts online. Can we get it first before we get the DLC packs?
That chair totally just snapped behind me.
Are you breaking stuff over
I
there?
totally just snapped the chair behind me.
Oh my God! Is it the arm?
No.
I mean, the arm is loose, but that back is gone.
Yeah, no, the back's gone. Leroy.
Oh my God!
I owe you a chair.
Oh
How did that happen?
no, I can fix that later.
We'll fix that later. Anyway, we got some good stuff to get to here because, once again, Kenny.
Breaking news that owe Leroy a chair.
Yeah. Kenny, can we get the game before we get the DLC
Just
packs?
yeah, set it by the
Yeah,
fridge.
Yes, put it by the fridge. The kids
Just
have
put it
been
by the
around.
fridge. It'll be fine. They can move it.
Yeah. Or the kids can probably just look through the fridge. You know, look
Well,
through the chair.
yeah.
But anyway.
Apparently, the chair looked through me.
Yeah, there you go. But anyway,
I gotta lose weight.
Jesse. Jesse. I'm
trying.
I can't believe I did that. I'm so sorry.
It happens.
Yeah, like it didn't even snap in half. It just snapped behind me. So, to Kenny Omega, yeah. You guys been working on this game for 3 years. Who works on a game for 3 years? Outside of EA, Activision, I get it. I get the jokes. I'm a gamer. I get it.
EA would have had this out by now.
Actually, EA would have put out a shitty product. in 6
Exactly.
months.
But they would have put something out.
But here's the thing. You guys have been working on this for almost 3 years. Since you announced the company, you announced the game.
And Kenny, you've been heading this up since day one. You actually backed up. You actually backed off your EVP booking of the women's division slightly to focus more on this.
You know what? I can't believe I'm doing this. I'll give Cody even more credit for leaving. He smelt the bullshit. 3 years to
yeah.
make a game?
Yeah. Street Fighter didn't take that long.
They went into the red making this damn thing, and it's still nowhere of being out.
No. Nowhere near. And by the way, Kenny, you made yourself look so beefed. You just look like a bad version of Battlegrounds, which wasn't a bad game.
It was a good game.
Now on to.
I had some
before we
glitches.
get to
It did have some bad glitches.
Yeah.
Now on to the Wrestling Observer Awards.
Oh boy.
Okay, I do have that too.
Jesse, Wrestler of the Year, the Luthez Ric Flair Award, once again by a landslide, was Kenny Omega. Would you like the rest of the people?
Roman Reigns was number 2. I do remember that.
Takagi was 3.
Shingo was 3.
Bryan Danielson was 4. Utami Shishida was 5.
From Stardom.
CM Punk was 6.
CM Punk really 6?
Was 6.
Really? I don't think so.
Sayuri was 7th.
Stardom has actually had a really good year.
Adam Page was 8 with that reign.
What a joke!
Katsuhiko Nakajima was 9th.
Who's
10th was Moxley.
who is voting on this?
It's the people of the Wrestling Observer.
Right, it's all their people.
Yeah.
Wow, they're paying everybody.
Honorable mention. Who got less votes than Mox, and Mox, we know why you were gone, but you were still gone. Right. Honorable mention with only 62 total points. Will Ospreay.
I didn't even think about him. By the way, who should have been in the top 5?
Should I tell you the tag team of the year?
Before you do.
Control yourself on this one, because I'll tell you.
I don't understand. Are they sleeping together? That's all I want to know.
Oh, somebody has to be.
Is Kenny Omega and Dave banging? Because there is no way. There is absolutely no way Kenny Omega is the Wrestler of the Year.
I put $1,000 bet on that one.
In his own company.
He was out most
right.
He was out most of the year.
In his own company, Bryan has been better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What are we talking about
and to beat
here?
Roman Reigns by over 500 total votes?
Yeah. That's just there.
Well, they're saying that WWE is the roast promotion of the year. Not even shocked.
Best
tag team of the year. Our favorite guys, the Young Bucks.
They barely wrestled on TV. They didn't hold the belts.
He's sucking both of them off. That's it.
Match of the year, Young Bucks.
No. What's the rest of that? What's the rest of the top 5 on the tag team list?
They didn't. Do you have one on? I don't have one on mine.
I'm not paying to subscribe to this bullshit. I'm not doing it.
Oh, they didn't put the full list?
Nope.
Yeah,
not on this thing. But here's the deal. Best interview, MJF.
Well, MJF is probably the best promo in the business right now.
Match of the year was the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers in the cage. The first half of the match, I almost give you. But when the Bucks started pulling out their bag of tricks...
That's the problem.
Feud of the year
goes I see that.
Feud of the year goes to Kenny Omega versus Hangman.
Kill me.
Well, we could.
No, Leroy, I'm saying if you would like to, you should have a couple of really good kitchen knives. You can
they're behind me.
Most improved, Ty Conti.
Stop for a second. By the way, I don't mind her getting that reward. She's been phenomenal.
She has, yes.
Like I said, her leaving, she had to learn. She grew up.
She had to realize that she wasn't everything that she thought she was, but that she had the potential to be.
And she's making herself into it. I'm sorry. What was the feud of the year?
Hangman Adam Page versus Kenny Omega.
Why?
I don't know.
They barely. I'm sorry. It was 2021. I'm sorry. Did Edge, Bryan Danielson, and
Roman Reigns not wrestle this year?
Not wrestle that year and have one of the best triple threat feuds I've ever seen?
And did Roman not smash him,
stack
him, and pin him?
And I'm sorry. Didn't Shingo Takagi and Dave's lover boy, the guy I call one of the greatest of all time right now, Okada, not in the year in just phenomenal fashion for New Japan?
Oh, they did.
I'm just.
Was Jay White not feuding with everyone better than Hangman Adam Page?
Oh, by the way, once again, that's a triple threat because Will Ospreay was a part of that.
He was.
I do like the most underrated, Ricochet.
Was Which by the way, he is getting a little more shine. He finally beat Sheamus.
Yeah.
And he gave a hell of a promo afterwards. So
I hope
rookie of the year,
hey,
Jade Cardwell.
I called it, Jade Cargill.
I have, you know what?
I got no problem with that
I'm
one.
trying to think between her, because I'm guessing some of the nominees would have been her, Cora Jade.
Yeah.
Braun
She had a better year than
Breaker.
Cora. She had a better year than Cora.
Braun Breaker.
Braun is in a league where, yes, he's a rookie, but he's being pushed so quickly. You're never
Right.
going to see him as one.
Not Master Yuta, but something like that from New Japan. He's kind of a guy who kind of started with this kind of like.
Was it Wheeler Yuta?
No.
It
So it's Master something
Okay.
from New Japan. He's had an incredible rookie year this year.
Best non-wrestler, Paul Heyman. Kind of hard. I mean, Paul Heyman
That's
almost.
kind of hard
Paul
not to
Heyman
say
should have won an
that.
Oscar.
Oh God, yes.
Paul Heyman should have won an Oscar this year.
But there was someone who who did compete with Paul this year. I think what Rocky has done in New Japan for Chaos has been insanely
That's
great.
fair. That's fair. I've caught a lot of that.
He was insanely great.
It's been good. Best announcer, as we all now know, it is Excalibur.
Listen, I don't hate Excalibur like you do.
No, Jesse. If I'm able to just sit there and look at him as a color commentator in what he's doing, it is informative.
Yeah.
The problem is there two things I hate. Number one, stop listening to the people in your ear. Stop promoting everything in the middle of a match.
Right.
And number two, he kind of brings up information that is not relevant to the match in the moment. Other than that, I don't hate it. The real winner gave him a lot of love, but god damn, how do you...
Pat McAfee, well, because he doesn't care about these awards. Because I'm sure he...
True.
It's Pat McAfee. He's doing quite
And then
well.
the worst announcer, Corey Graves. Why?
You know, he's up there.
I don't think he's the
Him,
worst.
JR, and I never thought I would ever put JR in that category. He clearly doesn't care, though.
Yeah, but Shivani is the
Oh,
worst.
you know what? You're right.
He doesn't add any... He's literally there to say, wow!
Right. So between
He's
him,
getting paid. He's getting
That's
paid
it.
to say Sting 3 times a night.
Shivani, my dude in all Japan. My God. So they added a third one.
In all Japan.
And you do the translations, and you're like, dude, this guy is Booker T, but without any funniness. Like, it's terrible. Like, it is horrible. Like non-Japanese speaking viewers literally shut off commentary because he just says nonsense the whole. You're like, what are you talking about, bro? That's not a move.
At least Booker's shit made a little sense.
Like, he made sense. He was funny with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this guy, I'm like, what?
The
are they
Booker of
doing?
the year and the Promoter of the year go to Anthony. He didn't win a single ratings war all friggin' year out of 52. But Booker of the year.
Okay, yeah, and the next two. Promotion of the year, AEW.
Best weekly TV show. Dynamite.
AEW Dynamite. What?
Best gimmick,
No.
Roman Reigns. You're going to hate this. Worst gimmick. This might make you more angry than Promotion of the Year.
I'm not happy.
Worst gimmick, Alexa Bliss.
I'm not happy with this at all either.
First of all, fuck you, Dave. Fuck Brian Alvarez. Fuck the guys at Wrestle Talk. Who else? I don't even like to do this because I love Steven Larson. Fuck you too.
I was going to say, is Steven Larson on this list?
See, it's
They can
because
all kiss my ass too, man.
they- right,
Jeez.
well, they've all been promoting this whole, they just gave her the Fiend gimmick and she's done nothing with it. I'm like, she's changed it.
Yeah.
I'm like, can we just give her credit for trying?
Yeah.
Instead of just even Wyndham isn't mad at her.
No.
So he's actually been supportive of the whole thing.
He
with
has.
her.
He has.
So I don't understand. Why are you getting on her? She doesn't deserve that.
She didn't do it.
I loved everything.
Plus,
with
last
it.
time I checked, there's a dude walking around just holding a camera in AEW every fucking week.
And last I checked, the highest selling merchandise in all of wrestling was the Lily doll.
Guys, all we've been saying is you don't have to agree with us, but if you hear something that I say, and I know people have when they talk to me about the show, and they've gone like, man, I don't always agree with what you say, but there's little nuggets of knowledge that, like, she's one of the best sellers.
Yeah.
People, I mean, it's WWE. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The gimmick always sold well.
Yes.
And then she's done a lot to change it and make it her own. That's just disrespectful.
This
man.
next award, I don't I don't have a lot to say about it because I don't know who else put it.
And then Roman is gimmick of the year. Go fuck yourself. Roman's been the best pro wrestler for 2 years.
Oh, God, yes.
I don't have any real experience this year on books that came out this year, but Mox having best book, I haven't read it.
I haven't read it, so I can't say.
So I'm not going to say anything. Best documentary, Brian Pillman, Dark Side of the Ring. Quick question. If that's the best thing, how come your butt buddies who are paying you, and they're paying you, Dave, how come they didn't capitalize on it and he got stuck with Malachi Black? No offense to the House of Black, but there's no fucking reason why Brian Pillman should have been working with those guys.
Right.
No.
End of conversation. Best maneuver. The buckshot lariat.
Really?
That was the best maneuver.
I mean, the guillotine from Roman.
Yeah.
Spear from Roman, which has been knocking him, smashing him all year.
The knee from Bryan Danielson.
Yes.
The backhanded fist. By the way, these are now guys in AEW. The backhanded fist from a man from New York.
Eddie?
Yeah, from Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston.
I'm sorry. Well, you know what? To be fair, I wouldn't put the Rainmaker on the list anymore either because people kick out of it all the time. But Shingo's finisher, right.
Yeah, they've gimmicked that out.
Right. Yas Cutter. What? The RKO still pops people almost 20 years later.
Oh, God, yes.
The worst television show, which should be on the list for most improved television show, and
It's Raw.
So the worst TV show was
It's
Raw.
Raw.
Rampage, I'm guessing, wasn't even top 5, even though Rampage didn't
Is
even
the
come
worst
close
show.
to getting any. And no, stop. I apologize. They came close to getting Dynamite's numbers some weeks, but that's a 2-hour show versus a 1-hour show. So what am I saying?
Well, no, the worst match of the year, Miz and Damian Priest from Backlash.
Oh, is that the zombie one?
Yeah.
I could give him that one.
I'll get it. That was terrible. You injured someone who's never got injured in their life.
I don't totally agree with the worst feud.
Orton versus The Fiend and Bliss.
Oh, go fuck yourself.
I
That was
think
good. I enjoyed that.
the ending of it wasn't good,
The ending was
but the
horrible.
whole thing was good.
But the whole thing, like with Alexa constantly messing with him, was great. Like I said, people have been hating the feed gimmick since he lost to Goldberg, though.
Sure.
Well, they've been hating. I mean, worst promotion of the year,
Of
WWE.
course, it's WWE by
Whatever.
a landslide. The best wrestling show was
Yes.
AEW All Out.
Are you fucking kidding
That was
me?
one of their worst shows. I remember that being not a good pay-per-view. I remember not enjoying that pay-per-view.
Okay, and then the worst.
Hold on, Leroy. Hold on.
Okay,
Leroy. What
okay.
was the card for All Out? You go ahead and say what you guys said. I'm gonna
So
look at
the card for All Out was a good. I think that because that was the one that had the debuts and shit too.
Okay, so that was the one.
But it wasn't better than Mania or SummerSlam.
No, I don't think so either. No.
Oh, by the way, the worst show of the year was Survivor Series.
Half and half.
Yeah.
Most discussion.
I will say this. By the way, it actually wasn't because I've watched all the CML.
This is the most discussion
This award
promotional
has been
tactic.
invented solely to shit on WWE.
Yes.
Because it's the most disgusting promotional tactic. WWE firing wrestlers during a pandemic while setting record profits. Tony, you said you had more money, but you let these people walk out the door. How is it any different? And somebody, and maybe Eric will be the person, but someone has yet to explain to me why it's not the same thing. Because nobody can. Because nobody has any goddamn clue as to what they're doing anyway. And the fact is that Tony's just admitting that, oh, I got real stars now. I don't need these people.
Right.
Tony, that's why you're not Booker of the Year, because you never
Yep.
got these
'Cause you
people
never
until
knew.
halfway through the fucking year. Bruiser Brody Memorial for Breast Brawler. John Moxley?
Half and half on that.
Well, but he wasn't around. I guarantee
wasn't-
somebody in New Japan was a better brawler this year.
Oh, my dog, the
Was it Ishii?
The pit bull, yeah.
Yeah.
Ishii, yeah. By the way, Dave, do you forget Ishii? He's once threatened you that if he doesn't get Fighter of the Year every year, he might fuck you up.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna call him.
Best
I'm gonna call
fl-
Ishii. Hey, Ishii. Hey, remember what you told Dave?
Yeah.
I need you to come handle that.
Best flying wrestler. How can we argue it's Rey Fenix? How do you argue Rey Fenix?
But I will say this: if Will Ospreay ain't a close second,
Why did they have to do the MVP?
They always do this.
Oh, okay, all
so
right.
the
That was
MVP
just kinda
of
weird.
North America, which was the United States and Canada, was obviously going to be Kenny Omega, like it was last year.
are you with Josh Alexander around?
He doesn't watch Impact. You know that. The Japanese MVP, I think you would have agreed with this, was Shingo Takagi.
Yes, because he did something that was damn near impossible. He made people actually respect that design title.
The Mexican
MVP was El Hijo del Viquino.
No problem. Yeah, he's been excellent.
If you go back and look at his year, the dude was on fire.
Mm-hmm. Did he win the Triple H? Is that right, or am I wrong?
He did not win the Triple H
he was in
Mega
there.
Championship. He was in there, but he didn't win
Okay.
it. European MVP. Okay, this is a cop-out. Jesse's going to get pissed here. This is a cop-out. He's honorable mention for Wrestler of the Year. Not even the top 10, but he's the European MVP, Will Ospreay. This is a cop-out. This is how you justify your bullshit. You give him this, but he's not top 10 in Wrestler of the Year.
Oh, go tweet Dave on our page, on our Twitter.
Oh, this is going to piss him off even more.
We can slam.
Non-heavyweight MVP. Do you have a pick?
Non-heavyweight?
Yeah. Do you have a pick?
I mean, I got a couple guys in mind.
Throw him out there.
No.
Throw him out. I know what.
Jesse, go ahead. Throw him out there. I mean, Will Ospreay could be on there.
Well,
no.
Jay White is not really. He's a light heavyweight.
True.
Also,
Shingo probably.
Shingo definitely.
Yeah.
Probably a couple other guys.
It was Darby Allin, who's not even going to be around long enough to accept the award.
He'll be dead.
Yeah, exactly. The women's wrestling MVP was Utami Hayashi.
Her year, by the way, because she's Stardom champion now. She has been incredible.
You said Stardom was your company of the year.
Stardom was so good all last year.
Best box office draw. CM Punk. Don't agree with that because
No.
Roman's been selling merch like it's no tomorrow.
I'm sorry. People always like to post these open seats at WWE shows, right?
Yep.
And yet, where does AEW do their shows? Oh, college stadiums that do like 3,000 people. And yeah, you could fill that up. WWE is trying to sell out 30,000 seat arenas.
Oh, by the way, when you tried to sell out a 30,000 person arena,
you couldn't do it.
You didn't even come close.
No.
And by the way, I did confirm to somebody who asked me recently about the show. They asked me, so you were at the Raw. I'm like, yeah. Nobody was asked to move their seats. They didn't fill nothing.
Right.
They didn't even. That was blocked off by the time we walked in.
Right.
No. There were no seat. There might have been seat fillers, but people were being seated in the area. So yeah, nothing with that. Feud of the year was Omega and Page. It was Omega and Page.
No.
Cesaro and Roman was better than Omega and Page.
You could slob on a knob so hard that it just goes soft. I would think that Kenny is soft at this point because,
but
Dave
he
likes
still,
it because
Dave still likes it.
He really likes to prop up a man who wasn't around half the year.
Yep. Was also injured. We're going to skip this one because this is the one that you might hate the most, and I'm serious. But the Bryan Danielson Best Technical Wrestler Award goes to Bryan Danielson. Bryan, you came back and you made me love you again, man. It's all yours, sir. The name is award.
He wins his own award.
Most charismatic.
But to be fair, he's actually mostly won his own award.
Yes.
No, there you go.
The most charismatic, which means the person who was the best overall character. He had the best stories, the best this, the best that. Phil Brooks.
Guys, you just hate WWE.
That's about it.
I don't even know why they cover it anymore.
He had one night. I'm sorry, Punk, you had one night. That's all I cared about.
I think I have to tweet Dave and say, hey, Dave, do you really hate WWE and Vince that much?
The one thing I will give Steven Larson is that they're actually honest.
Yeah.
So, like, when they like a show, they talk about how they like it.
Yeah.
These other guys can't do it.
No.
All Brian Alvarez does is, like say he likes it and then just starts to shit on it. Guys, listen, WWE has its problems, and as if you act, as the more you guys are sharing with other wrestling fans our podcast, what you will learn about me and Zach and Leroy, as we're honest, when WWE is something whoop, man, that was horse shit.
Oh, we will.
That was horrible.
We will spend as much time
and
as possible on it.
I will crucify the hell out of it. But when they do good stuff, give them credit.
Yeah.
Because at this point now we're just apparently now wrestling culture is you're either with WWE or against it.
But
why can't you just enjoy pro wrestling?
But have I not been saying almost from day one? And Jesse, not that you've tried to dismiss what I've been saying, but you've been trying to justify it. But now stuff like that proves it, folks. What are you doing?
They want to try to
if
take
Vince's
the juggernaut
name is on
down.
the marquee, you hate it.
Because by the way, he used to award NXT a lot. So this is clearly a I hate Vince. Everyone's just I hate Vince now.
And Dave wants to be part of the cool crowd.
Dave's never been cool though. Apparently, you forgot that, Dave. You've never been cool. You were. It was cool to like you.
Yeah.
Because he was honest about pro wrestling. He hasn't been honest about pro wrestling since he felt shafted like 8 years ago.
Yeah. When basically half of his sources in the big company cut him off because they were like, "We're done. There's no point."
Don't blame him. All right.
All right. Now for some happy news, Leroy.
Vengeance
Day. Holy
NXT.
crap! And it started off with the match that we were all like, "Hey, Tony, bye."
Yes. Pete
This
Dunne,
hurt to watch.
a weaponized steel cage in a Tony D.
What do you do to the most dangerous man on the island of the UK?
Give him a cage and weapons.
You give him a cage with weapons in it.
And he had a crowbar hidden.
Yeah.
Oh my! Some of the stuff they did, I was like, holy shit!
God.
Tony, you'll see better days. I promise.
Great.
It can't get worse than that.
No, it can't.
I don't know how it gets worse than that.
Oh, they put on a
By the way,
hell of a match.
By the way, I and a bunch of other people are now. We should just call it the We Agree with Zach Club. If you're not watching 2.0 at this point, you don't want to give it a chance.
I've been watching it since it started. I fucking love it.
It's actually been a great show every Tuesday now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They have found their footing. Sean has kind of gotten the hang of how to use these guys and wrestlers and try to get them over.
You got to give Sean credit. The first night of 2.0, I don't necessarily think it was they were
I could have
in his ear.
never blamed him for anything that would have happened on this show.
Well, but here's the deal. The point I'm trying to make is this. Forget what they may or may not have said we want you to do.
Right.
He had a whole new crop of superstars basically that first night. And they were like, you got 2 hours, feature all of them. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Hold up. Back up the truck here. What? You want all of them
Right.
in 2 hours.
And now Sean, within the last 4 months, has built some genuine stars out of some of these
He
guys.
made you believe in Chase
Right.
U.
Yeah, I don't know how
he
did
still
that.
does.
He made you believe in
There you go.
Chase U.
Because the first time I saw that gimmick, I'm like, I would rather die
and
than
then
watch this.
And then you got it, and you were like,
And I'm like, I love you, Andre.
And then he goes, I need merch.
I do. I'm going to get that sweater.
we should all get this.
I'm getting
We
that
should.
sweater.
We should all wear it, take a picture. It'd be fun.
Yes, we should. All right, Leroy. What was up next?
Besides that, the next match, it was for the NXT Tag Team Champions, where Toxic Attraction did defeat Indy Hartwell and Percy Prada.
You were off, Jesse. They ended up keeping the belts on them. Were you happy or unhappy about this?
You know what? I was more than okay with it.
Okay.
I was actually genuinely shocked, but I was more than okay with it.
Okay.
Because they also did something they hadn't let Toxic Attraction do at all yet.
Yeah.
Let them win clean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, Gigi, you're going to last longer than your ex-husband.
Because she's smarter.
Yeah. Darby, we love you. We do. But that's the problem. You take our love and you put it in a goddamn body bag with thumbtacks and throw it off the friggin' pier. All right. What's up next, Leroy?
All right. We had the lovely North American Championship with Carmelo
He
Hayes,
stole the show. Jesse.
Cameron Grimes.
It's
That
El Steen because
It
it
was.
stole the show. It was everything Vince wanted. It was everything everyone else wanted. It was everything
It was. I
this
love this
stole
match.
the motherfucking show.
I don't know how Cameron Grimes doesn't work on the main roster when he gets called up.
Yeah.
He needs to.
I don't know how Scott let this man walk free.
By the way, I don't know how Scott allowed him to be booked as a caveman for all those years.
who never said a word? Cameron Grimes is a throwback to an era where it's like, I know I'm athletic, but fuck it, just be Yano. You'll have a long career.
I was about to say.
You'll have a long career.
It'll be to the moon, of
He's
course.
phenomenal.
I love it.
So good.
Love it.
I mean, so speaking of,
It's now a race between WWE and New Japan. Who gets the world title first? Who gets the transitional joke title first?
it'll be Yano.
It better be Yano.
It will
better
be
be.
If
Yano.
Yano wins, it not only starts our show, it ends our show. I will bully. I will Billy
All
Ray
right.
Cyrus this motherfucking
People
thing.
think I'm kidding because not a lot of an American audience watches New Japan.
Yeah.
But pro wrestling fans will lose their shit the moment Yano's the champion. Even if it's for 2-3 weeks.
Yep.
They'll be like, Yano's the champ! Yana! Like, people are going to go crazy. It'll be the biggest news for like 3 weeks.
We will achy breaky heart this thing. It's going to start our show. We're going to have an intermission with this.
I think,
and we're going to end the show
And
with
it feels
this.
like Gato and those guys want to do it.
It does.
Like, even if it's for 3 weeks, like, damn, we got to do this.
Just do it.
We got to just pull the trigger.
Just do it once.
Like, because we will literally take over pro wrestling for a couple of weeks.
And is anyone going to care when he loses?
No.
Because it's Yano.
You expect him to lose it.
Yano,
Yes.
Yano, take over New Japan Twitter for a week, trying to sell that bitch. Oh,
New championship, $1 million.
$1 million yen.
Love you. Love you. You are the best.
If that happens, Jesse and I will be so happy.
But that's what I'm saying. So with Cameron Grimes, same thing.
Oh,
Man, he gets called up. He gets like, if he gets the Intercontinental Championship, you don't think WWE takes over for a week? Like, what? Cameron Grimes is a champion.
not only that.
Oh,
not
I'd be
only
happy.
that,
Oh, I'd love it.
He is perfect for Vince. Vince is not gonna do anything but love this guy. Because anything Vince says, Cameron's gonna be down for.
I think about this as far as the future in WWE. Think of a Riddle versus Grimes feud.
Oh.
Are you kidding me?
To be fair, though, we also have to talk about the
wow.
winner. Carmelo Hayes is he is that damn good.
He's so good that haters of NXT 2.0 will watch the show for him.
Yep.
Yes.
They're like, damn, he's right. He don't miss. He's astonishingly great.
He is. And by the way, like Jesse said last week, I don't think anyone's ever going to give him indie cred because
Right.
he seems like such a homegrown guy.
But he is an indie guy. By the way, you know what? Josh Gresham did say it, and right after the pandemic started, he's like, "This is the decade of the black wrestler. I promise you guys."
Oh my God.
He's been right.
Yeah.
He's
I
been
love
right.
it. I love it. They're doing great.
All right, what was up next, Leroy? Because here's
Well-
the deal. This is El Steen, if there was ever El Steen.
Okay.
It was just phenomenal.
Just go
Yes,
watch it.
yes,
It was
it is.
so good. And by the way,
Duh.
Trick Williams wasn't in it too much.
No.
no,
no.
just enough.
It was the right sprinkle.
Right.
It was seasoned just right. Trick, I love you. I really do.
Next was the finals of the Dusty Road Classic with the Creed
Were you
brothers
shocked, Jesse?
winning.
Leroy, I was shocked.
Yeah.
They held their own, though.
I really thought MSK was going back to back.
They held their own, though.
I mean, I'm like, damn. I guess I get it. I mean, they're insanely high on these Creed. By the way,
Malcolm Bivens, by the way.
Oh,
the
my God,
NXT crowd loves these boys.
Well, but Jesse,
Oh, they do.
Jesse, quick
Yeah.
question. Did you watch them versus the Grizzled Young Vets?
yeah, that was an amazing
That was a
match.
man-
That
Yes.
crowd, that is the old NXT crowd that was like, we don't care who wins.
Right.
Just fucking go.
I
They got into that shit.
thought
And by the way,
MSK would
Malcolm
do it,
Bivens
but
might be, by the way, no offense to MJF, Malcolm Bivens deserves to be in the top 5 for best promo.
He should be right underneath MJF.
Malcolm
Yes.
by the way,
Either him or Roman, and then
thumbs
Bivens,
up,
Like,
There you go.
thumbs up. Not saying it to try to get fans, but thumbs up to the Malcolm X line. But in the end, the tears that flowed from this man's face, he cried out of many holes. Jesse, Malcolm Bivens was so happy.
by the way, Malcolm Bivens also proving, and maybe it'll prove to Vince, managers still work well.
Yeah,
they do. Oh yeah.
when the
I
boys
love this
are
match.
talented but can't speak yet, there's a place for
Right.
these people.
Managers still work very well in pro
But I've been
wrestling.
high on Malcolm Bivens from day one.
I was
From-
about to say,
from the
I've-
moment he walked in, he's been a walking
I've known
mic.
his work from back in Ring of Honor. Malcolm Bivens has always been pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I did love this match. The Creed brothers.
This makes
Them-
me want to see them
and
versus
Imperium?
so much.
Oh god, that's gonna be.
I didn't know I wanted this match.
You want it now?
I do now.
Yes, you do. That's gonna be a banger.
It's gonna be a banger.
They're gonna be slapping the shit out of each other.
Apparently, so if you're in Dallas and you got the day one tickets for WrestleMania, apparently you can also get, I think it's a 30% discount,
Yeah.
and go see the NXT pay-per-view that will be taking place a few hours before.
Stand and deliver.
Ooh.
Yeah. Stand and deliver. Yeah.
So I think
Nice.
they said it'll be the only time they.
You mean
the only time they
WrestleMania?
try WrestleMania week.
Yeah.
It's that Saturday.
yeah, but you said day one tickets. So it's a day one. So day one tickets. Give you
So
the-
yeah,
Okay,
night
all right.
one, night one of Mania, quote unquote.
Let's get that out there so people can maybe.
yeah,
look at that,
if you are looking into Mania and you love 2.0, you like what was going on.
yeah.
If you get the night one tickets, I think actually now it actually might include it in a package for tickets to stand and deliver because I think they're going to do it at an arena across the street.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go see it.
Oh, it's going to be good.
And the stories they got heading in to stand and deliver is this, by the way, including possibly Ciampa versus Dolph Ziggler. Are you kidding?
Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me? Talk about a banger that you didn't know you wanted and you're going to get anyway. He seems like he feels invested in NXT.
He does.
Oh God, yes.
Well, he came out with the suit, like
he came out as Dolph.
Right.
Yeah.
He wasn't Ziggler. He was Dolph.
I'm like, this guy I haven't seen in like 6 years.
Yeah. What else we got, Leroy? Because
that was the final.
This card kept getting better.
It did.
Match.
The
match at the end.
Credit. They gave it a 5 out of 5.
They're
like, it was a great show.
Yeah.
Main event: Braun Breaker and Santos Escobar for the NXT Championship.
Jesse, did the boy pass?
Wow. He passed.
Oh yes.
He passed.
Wow. He sold his injury good.
Santos is
I did enjoy.
What else is left for that faction down there, though?
I don't know.
It's for Santos to actually win the thing when they call up Braun. But are they going to stick around long enough? That's the question.
I don't know if you did notice it. I saw it later too. Santos Escobar paid tribute to Eddie.
He did.
Wearing the trunks.
Oh, I noticed the second that I saw the tights. I was
as soon as I saw the tights,
yeah, no,
I saw that too, and I'm like, wait a minute.
It was also the same day that Eddie won the belt. Right. So,
yeah.
Oh, by the way, something that wasn't a match but was actually really good was LA Knight with Grayson Waller. That actually worked.
Phenomenal.
That worked.
By the way, I said as soon as they turn him babyface, and you allow a crowd to kind of
get into the LA Knight chant.
Work with Eli. Yep. I'm telling you,
the
dude's a superstar.
He is.
And
you know what? Okay, I guarantee you Vince never saw an ounce of his work until he got there because he would have called him up in a heartbeat. He would have.
Because now he's done 2 TV matches, which apparently for main event, which he's won.
Yep.
So I told people, I'm like, let him turn babyface before you think Eli isn't going to get his due.
He'll be up before me.
I'm like, as soon as he turns babyface, and Vince goes, oh, shit, I don't have to make a star. He is one.
Mm-hmm. He is.
He walks into the mid-card, immediately credible.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he'll be up before Veer. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
We're still... He might be in the video game I get in 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope so.
You'll get your taxes before Veer shows up.
Yes.
I hope so. I'm waiting for my taxes.
My mom will finally get the thing she ordered from my sister from the boat that was on the damn Atlantic Ocean before Veer shows up.
Yeah.
Oh.
But no, Jesse, so Jesse, again, I'm not here to gloat. Was I wrong about 2.0?
No. You've never been. And like I said, I did feel it getting better back in like November.
You did,
December.
yeah.
But man, the last 2 months, I'm like, whoa.
If you allow yourself, almost in the days when Leroy, you were watching the Dingo Warrior turn into the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
If you just allow yourself to,
that's what his previous gimmick was.
Yes, it was.
It was the Dingo Warrior. Yes, it was.
What a dummy.
Yep.
Wasn't a great name.
The Ultimate Warrior.
Dummy. Anyway.
Yeah, the Ultimate Warrior was way better.
If you just allow yourself for 2 hours to get lost in this show,
you'll love it.
You'll enjoy every single second. And by the way, Jesse.
I also did like this segment with Cora Jade and Raquel Gonzalez.
Yes. And also, Jesse, those 2 young black kids down there, they're getting some shine.
They are so good.
They really are.
They are. Oh,
you finally watched them, too. You were like, holy shit.
Maybe Sean sees the same thing I see. Reminds you a lot of the Rockers, don't it?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Like these 2 kids, people are like, whatever, they're kind of be jobbers, but they were so good that you're like, well, shit, I mean, we might as well make them tag champs. Like, this is really good.
You know what sucks? That could have been Private Party.
Not in a world where the Bucks run your division.
No. They could have been in that spot if they would have just not re-signed.
They should have been in that spot.
Yeah. Because remember, Jim said from day one. First of all, they're both now, Jim and Brian, giving love to both members.
By the
of
way,
Private
your
Party.
boys should let their contracts expire.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of there.
Yeah. No. If you have to come back,
if you're watching 2.0 right now and you're the 2 boys, top flight, Go
God,
to
I
NXT.
I
Yeah.
hope.
But no,
they need to be
no,
there.
Jesse, because Jim